and welcome back to the Pretty Little Podcast, Labor Day edition. We're your hosts.
My name is Phoebe.
And my name is Caroline. And today, you guys, we are revisiting not only the pilot episode of Pretty Little Liars, but the pilot episode of the Pretty Little Podcast. We re-listened to it, and we also rewatched the pilot, and we are just here to give you, I guess, a little forward, a little precursor before you dive back into the pilot on this High Holy Day, Labor Day, the official Pretty Little Liars holiday. The High Holy Day. Did you have a little bit of a jump scare turning on the episode and hearing just the light in our eyes, the brightness of our voices?
Yeah. I did the same thing.
I would say you and I both had what you call, not so fondly, my voiceover voice.
Yeah, I do think it was because Mom was coaching me. So like at the time, like she was so worried about it, I think.
Yeah.
And what we both had to learn was what makes the podcast work is that we act on mic how we act when we're together.
Yeah, which
I mean, it's not like we're not putting on like a character.
I don't feel like we acted different than we act off mic in that episode. Like but I do think it was also, we were so nervous. Like we recorded the first 3 episodes
like
before we recorded them like 5 months before we released them. So we were batching episodes, and we recorded
the amount of times I edited that episode.
Oh, I can't even imagine. And, I sent that episode in front of the pod, Amber. She was the first person who ever heard it outside of you and
Marissa.
Me. And Marissa. And I was like, listen to this. And if you think this is something that should not see the light of day, should not be published on the internet, please speak up. Oh my God. Don't protect my feelings. You are protecting my feelings by saving me from this. Even listening to it, I got like a little emo thinking about it. Cause I was like, I know we were committed to doing this at that time, but thinking about how fucking far we've come and how much we've accomplished and done since then, like I'm really proud of us. Like we've really,
I know, it's crazy,
kind of made something here. And although of course we like hoped and dreamed, and of course we're saying that was going to happen, I don't know if we really knew that it would. And
I definitely did. I wasn't sure we were going to finish it.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I thought maybe we'd finish the show, but I didn't think that it would
expand.
I didn't think we'd keep going necessarily. But I think there was a lot that was just like, I don't know. I mean, anything can happen. So I think maybe I wasn't attaching a prediction to it at that point.
We also both, I remember having a conversation with you before we recorded.
Well, you were ready to go.
Well, and I was said to you, I was like, we're finishing it. Like, we have to. Like, yeah. I don't want this to be a flop because so many people start podcasts and they just took her out, and like that's fine, like no judgment. It's a lot of fucking work, and that's one of the reasons that I'm like so proud of us now as we're revisiting that. Like, and also at one point in that episode we said our ages and it was like a jump scare. 26 and 21.
Oh, that makes me sick to my stomach.
Is that not crazy? For some reason in my mind I was 27 when we started it. But no, when we first recorded it, we started on my 27th birthday. That was the day that we released the first 3 episodes.
Right. Oh my God.
I know. It's crazy. So we were recording this episode in our parents' basement in the playroom. And there's a point in the episode also that I can hear at least my voice get to like a hushed quality. I'm still projecting, but like at some point I feel like we were told to be quiet.
I think so too.
Yeah,
like I was wondering why we started, because in the beginning of the episode we're so energetic, and then I was like,
energetic.
Now we're in a library.
Granted, we were recording at like 2 a.m. We used to record, you guys, literally like found time whenever we could find it.
Well, yeah, it would be like, especially if I was home, like in the beginning or like when I was still in college, like I feel like oftentimes it was like I would go work a shift at Taco. Yeah. And then after that, I'd have to come and we'd record the podcast. Yes. Or like come home and edit. Like, oh my gosh, this used to be like low key perfect night. Like I would have Gabe or whoever was in the kitchen that night make me to go nachos at Taco. And one time Marissa made me, she combined like the ground beef and the brisket, or like the brisket and the chicken. Like she combined certain meats on the flat top to put on the nachos. Best thing I've ever had in my whole life. And guys, these nachos are like
crazy
behemoth nachos. They were like layered with queso.
Yeah.
The best.
They were like a masterpiece.
Yeah, they truly were. And I
that restaurant doesn't exist now, you guys. The restaurant that we both worked at. Yeah.
Yeah. But I would get that, and I would come home, and mom and dad like weren't. I would be alone at the house in Mount Lebanon for the summer, and like I'd sit at the kitchen and like do that and eat those nachos, or like I'd watch a movie before and then edit it, but I'd stay up. We used to really like.
I mean, all night. Like we would stay up until like 3 a.m. doing it, and like I don't know. You were in college, but like in the summers, like I would go to a full 9 to 5 the next day, and I don't know how I was doing that. Like. I do not know how I was doing that. I don't know how we were doing that. There wasn't longevity to that system, and yet here we are. Like we ultimately, because guys, we started recording. So we're our friends at Gilmore to Say podcast. We work with them, and they are amazing. And so this seems so obvious, but like wisdom they gave us was you need to set a weekly recording time.
It's also so funny because we were like. I think you and me both was unspoken that we just like
we're gonna do mornings.
We just weren't gonna do that. Yeah. And then we were like,
why the fuck haven't we been doing this?
We were like talking to Tara and Haley, and we were like explaining any issues that we had like been having or like frustrations, and they were like, crazy idea. I think
let's get you a shared calendar.
Had a chunk of time.
Yeah, which we don't really use the calendar, but yeah, they were like just. Plan around your schedules and just say this is our sacred recording time, and like of course there are weeks where that's not our sacred recording time and we don't do it, but
we're also sisters, so it can be a little like for them it's like they are friends and co-workers, so it's a little bit different to be like, hey, I need to sleep in tomorrow, or hey, I need to do this in the morning. Whereas that now, and also like not that it's not a job to us, but it's like it's their job.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, I mean but now it's like once we just decided to do that, to be like, okay, Sunday mornings we record, it was like not an issue. It was just like, okay, that's just what we do now. And I think it has made our lives much easier to like not have to squeeze in recording and editing for you during, the weeks. And it allowed me to like do a little more with social. But so that was one thing. I think also something else that we have realized along the way doing this podcast is we don't know how people have podcasts who aren't sisters or siblings, because there are so like our mom has been a mediator. Not that we haven't like had any like fights, but we get annoyed with each other. We get annoyed with each other on air. You guys know that. Like we're sisters, and that's part of the reason you guys really like us. And there was a minute there where I feel like we thought we shouldn't let them in on that part of us, and then people really actually liked that part of us. But that was something we found along the way, was like, oh my God.
I feel like it honestly probably came out of us fighting one time and one of us saying, and you have to keep that in so that they can hear like
what actually happened.
I think that's probably something I was probably like, no, because Caroline's going to try to like,
oh, I love how
she's going to think I'm going to take, well, no, I'm just saying because I edit. I edit. So
I know.
Odds are I'm probably keeping one of your fights.
Give Caroline her voice back. Yeah.
But like I'm sure there were times where Caroline would like we would fight, and then Caroline would try to clean it up with what she said afterwards, and I'd be like, no, I'm keeping all of that in so that they can hear exactly how this fight went.
Yeah there, I mean 100%. And I think we weren't sure if people were going to give a fuck about us. I remember we were like, okay, we should look for some Pretty Little Liars related topics to discuss in the beginning of the episode to sort of like warm us up, get us into it, before we realized that anybody was going to be interested in us.
And that was still only like, in this first episode, it was only like 10 minutes we talked before the episode.
We get right into it.
And I also remember when we first started, you had like a lot of ideas in terms of how we would structure things. When I think before we landed on like just doing a scene by scene recap, where you were like, okay, and then we'll have a segment in the episode where I'll talk about the fashion for like 5 minutes, and then you'll like talk about the music for 5 minutes. And then I think we slowly realized that like that's just
not how it was.
First of all, the music in Pretty Little Liars was never. There are iconic songs because now
watch what you say.
Liars, yeah, but like it wasn't like Gossip Girl where like young folks.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's very true.
It is like, Don't Trust Me starts this show, but then like the final song in the pilot, like that's not it's not a Justin Timberlake song. It's a song that people only know because it's
the last song of the Pretty Little Liars show. Yeah, totally. And
we just had like no idea where like
No, and that was also, we've talked about this before, but we used to watch it in real time. So we would watch it together. Not only would we watch it together, but we would watch like one scene. And we would, if we were being lazy, we would watch like 3 scenes in a row. And then we would pause it. And I think we took some notes while we were watching, that we would like write down what we wanted to say. And then we would record for however long about those 3 scenes. It took me a long
time to start making notes. I have to go back and look to see what the first episode I took notes for was. But I mean, to me, it was like, we're just going to talk about what we just watched. And we used to do that also when I was in college. Like when we would record on Zoom.
We would still watch it together.
We would watch it together.
So it would take us like 6 hours. Like it took us, we weren't doing 2 episodes a week at that time. Like we did it. It took so long. Yes. Oh my God. It's just funny to think back on all these things that like we've learned, ways we've gotten better. And also like one of the things that people love about our show, when I talk to people about it, they're like, I love that it is truly beat for beat. Like you don't skip anything. Like you get into the weeds. And listening back to this pilot episode, I was like, we did that from the get-go. Like we broke down every
you
single
stopping
moment.
And breaking down what was on the board.
Yes, like we really did
everything like that
from the get-go. And I think that was another thing, like the attention to detail in the show. There are a lot of recap podcasts, I'm sure, that just kind of talk about the as Pretty Little Liars True Crime kind of did, where it was like they just talked in general about the episode for a minute. Yeah.
For them to talk about it.
And it's this kind of, we said in the pilot, we wanted it to be that if you are listening to our podcast, you don't also have to watch the show. You don't have to watch it to know what's happening. And I think that has stayed true throughout all of it. And including our pilot recaps, like we do that too on the Patreon, which is neat. I also just think about, I got this sort of like nerves listening to it, where I was like, thinking about starting a podcast from thin air is so scary to think about. And like, I know we did it and we're moving into new territory for the podcast. And I'm so grateful that we don't have to start with the knowledge that we had when we were 26 and 21. We have people that are listening. We have an audience, but like back then, like, okay, bravery. Okay, brave of us to do. We're talking like, thank you for listening. Who the fuck is listening? But people were like, people we knew were listening.
I mean, shout out Daniel.
Daniel, we love you. You've been here.
Daniel's truly.
There have been a lot of people who have been here since day one, but Daniel was vocal from day one.
We just know his handle. Like he's always been commenting on our stuff.
And so supportive.
Dylan, another one.
Yes.
Daniel and Dylan are the names that stick out from like the very early on.
Yeah. But there are a lot of you, and I'm sorry that we don't. It's a lot of like handles. That's what we would have to remember that. But it's
Spoby Forever.
Spoby Forever fell off unless they just had a handle change. Never forget. Spoby Forever started getting mad at us.
I think she got her phone taken away.
Maybe got her phone taken away.
That's my take.
Anywho, it's so funny to think about. We used to kind of do like mini punch bowls in the episodes. We'd be like, what would the liars like coffee orders be? And we would do that kind of a thing. Anyway.
Which we still even do now.
We do, yeah. But the world building was there. The Connell lore was there. Like the bones of our show were really there from the first day. And I think that's kind of cool that like we really finished it the way we began it. We've gotten better, but it's also like we really stayed true to the show, and people who loved the first episode are going to love the last one. And that's, I think, like not true of every show. And then if we only could have known Phoebe, like what would have happened?
Imagine telling 26 and 21-year-old us that Paige and Jenna were gonna have beef with us.
Christy Carlson Romano as well was gonna have beef with us.
I don't even care that much about her.
Well,
but it's
last night Anthony goes, who do you care more about, Mose or CCR? I was like, probably Mose, I guess. Like, who do I like least? He's what he was asking. I was like, probably Mose.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, because I just found out that Christy Carlson Romano got shot. And I was like, that's old news. That is old news. And she's fine. and by the way, she's fine. But if we would have known that, we would have gotten Sarah Shepard on our podcast, and that not only would she be like on the show, but like friend of the pod. Like she interacts with almost everything we post. We text, like she's a cool girl. We love Sarah Shepard. There are just so many things. If you would have told us that we would have had like a thriving Patreon, that we would have started doing 2 episodes a week and doing pop culture, that Marlene King would have finally reposted. That was huge. Like,
I know. I mean, I texted Cammie and she couldn't believe it either.
It's just
because I mean we used to like scream at Marlene by name every week when we would watch the show.
It's just neat. And so thinking back on little Phoebe, who loved this show with everything in her and still loves the show, but little Phoebe is the person who dreamt up this podcast, which I think is hilarious to think about because everyone who knows us, no one ever believes that this would have been Phoebe's idea, like to talk into a mic.
Well, honestly, I mean, I'll shout out, I think it was my friend Lauren from college who was like, I was rewatching the show and I would go, I think I might have said this in the episode, but like I would go down to the desk and just like talk someone's ear off about it. And I think Lauren was like,
she's like, shut up and do this on a mic. Do this on a podcast so you don't have to do it with me.
She was just like, have you ever thought about like a podcast? Wow. And I was like, well, no, but now I am.
It's just, it's neat. I love our podcast. I love the Pretty Little Podcast. I love you, Phoebe. I love our listeners. Like, I'm really just, I love these girls in the show, even though we're hard on them. It's such a big part of our lives.
Everywhere.
Yeah. So okay, a few things we want to get into with this pilot episode before we let you listen to the actual pilot. Okay, so one of the things we started with was we said, who do we relate to? Who do we think we're the most like as the liars? Your answer cracked me up because you said, I think I see myself in everyone except for Spencer.
Which I don't even know. I don't know if I agree with that anymore. I think there are things. I think that I would want to be more like Spencer than I am. I love Spencer.
I love Spencer too.
Emily feels like such a package deal to Hannah that it's hard to put her in spot number 3. Mm-hmm. But like, if I'm thinking really objectively, like it's Hannah.
Well, this is you thinking Emily, of your favorites, but like in terms of like, we don't always relate to our favorites as much as we want to.
No, I still feel that. I think I still felt how I felt about that, you know, shamefully Aria-esque, but
I see a lot of Hannah in you.
Thank you. Yeah, and honestly, that's like the highest compliment.
It really is, and
can get.
I love that we nailed that in the first episode. That was one thing.
Yes, I was listening, not to pat myself on the back, but I was like, by the end of the whole show, like you realize Hannah is truly the smartest of them, Spencer. And like I don't know if we really even touched on her loyalty yet, but like we knew who Hannah. Yeah, we knew who Hannah was at a very early age.
Exactly. No, we knew, and we also knew who Aria was, except for there's one.
We immediately decided
we clocked her so fast. We clocked her so fast. And one thing I have to say that we need to set the record straight on this, watching the pilot back, because we talked about how when Aria and Emily walk into the classroom and they see Hannah and we're like, oh, and Hannah's like a bitch, sort of like Hannah's like mean to Aria, and Aria's like, what's that about? Looking back now, I'm like, no. Hannah reacted the exact right way, because Aria's sitting there like, that's Hannah? Like she is being mean. Hannah just doesn't know it. Yeah, she probably can see on your face that you're shocked to see who it is.
Exactly.
And like you also left kind of like and you didn't speak to any of your friends, Aria. Like, so
wait, someone needs to make an edit of when did you get hot of Hannah?
Oh my, okay. All right, I got my night's work cut out for me now. Boom. Except for she was always hot. She was always hot.
You know what I mean.
That. We knew that.
Season 1 Hannah and everybody realizing that that's Hannah.
Or we do with Mona might be better.
Mona and Hannah.
Okay, yeah. Or you know what, Aria, but going from goth to. That's another funny thing, because Aria's like, so embarrassed about her former pink streaks. Emily's like, last time I saw you, I think you had pink streaks in your hair. And Aria goes, just when your parents want you to be who you are and you don't know who you are. It's like, okay, it was a year ago.
Thinking about literally you're talking about it like you're 25, looking back on dyeing your hair in high school. Yeah. It's seeing the role that they put Emily in the pilot is also interesting, because she's kind of our lay of the land giver.
Yes.
How we would talk about
it. We talked about her in our pilot as like a secondary character. She's giving friend of the show who comes in and walks you through the lunchroom. It's the Janice and Damien. It's the what's his name in 10 Things I Hate About You walking him through, you know?
And but we mentioned the Shay Mitchell smirk, which this was pre Megan Albadress.
It was, and I was actually thinking
not even pre our friendship with her.
Yeah, pre her making her videos. When I listened back to this episode, I actually kept thinking about Megan Albadress, and I was like thinking about her listening to our episodes, because I don't think she listened to our podcast before she came on our podcast.
I don't think so either.
And now she's a huge podcast fan and a friend. We love. I like go to hang out with Megan so bad. That's another thing. Like people that we've like gotten to meet and like talk to.
Here's what we're gonna have to do eventually. Like it's gonna take a minute for us to get here, but we need to take a pod trip to LA. meet Megan, but
go
also
to the Warner Bros.
The Rosewood lot.
Yeah, I don't know why we haven't been invited, but yeah. So if you guys want to start dropping hints, that'd be great.
Yeah, just keep tagging.
We've got a few more months.
We know you guys can get someone's attention.
We know how powerful you are. Yeah, guys. Hey, guys, do you remember that? I just want to like bring you all back to how you went Swiftie ass on them. You literally treated us as though we were the Taylor Swift of your lives, and like I will never not be grateful for that. Absolutely, Mose was Gabriette and Jenna was Maddie Healy, and you guys came for them.
But yeah, we nailed Emily, the way we talked about her, and we really nailed all of them.
We really, really, really did nail it, except for it's funny because I talk about how much I love Spencer over and over again, and then I don't hate her, but someone mentioned that during the Spaleb era, it was funny because they were like re-listening, and I said, this is a Spencer love podcast, and then I like fucking hate her, but that's not true. But speaking of people that we hate, you say in the pilot that Melissa is the worst character in the show. Do you still feel that way? After all the lore we've given to her, I can't say that.
Know. At that time, I hadn't been privy to that information.
But also, like, that's a crazy statement to say that she's the worst character on that show, thinking of the people that are on that show.
And so, like, and I think it also came from a place of loving Spencer so much and, like, really not liking the way that Melissa, and not only the way that Melissa.
Did it come from a place of you being a younger sister and being like, oh, older sisters are nasty?
Probably not. I mean, Melissa's like insane. But, like, I think that.
Okay.
Seeing the way that Melissa was able to kind of turn the whole family on Spencer in a lot of instances really rubbed me the wrong way. And also adding, I don't think I was thinking about this at that point, but imagine if Melissa, here we go, world building again. Imagine if Melissa knew that Spencer wasn't biologically Vivi's daughter and did that and still was like turning the parents against the love child.
And so does she know that though?
I don't know. I feel like Peter was unclear when Spencer asked if Melissa knew.
He said Melissa knows
what we tell her or something like that.
What we that's not she doesn't know. But I believe that Melissa, and unless something crazy happens in the last few episodes, I believe Melissa would like lay down. I mean, I know she would. She would lay down.
I hadn't had to really examine any of the characters.
Yeah, true. Point. I know. That's why it's like kind of interesting to hear your take on it in that first thing, because you probably never imagined the depth that we would go in.
I didn't know she and Emily had a tryst in England.
People. And you didn't know it. And it's a good thing that I found that for you. Just kidding. I don't know who came up with that, but it's a good thing.
I actually want to go back and listen to, like, can someone make a supercut of everything we've ever said about Memily? Because it's so fucking funny. I loved the scenes where, like, well, I think it was when they thought that Melissa killed someone. Cece.
Oh, and Emily was like hot on Melissa's trail. Emily was like, oh, I know it was Melissa, and I can't tell you why I know it was Melissa, but she's capable of that. Like, that was Emily's vibe.
There was one point where we were like, then Emily leaves the barn and she goes to Melissa's room and she starts digging through her drawers, and Hannah finds her and is like, what are you doing up here?
Emily, what are you doing in Spencer's sister's room? And none of this happened. Yeah. that's you guys, if you've listened to our podcast from the beginning, you've gotten very good at discerning like truth from fiction, or like even fiction from like extra fiction, because the show is fiction itself, but like sometimes we don't say that like what we're saying isn't real. Like, you just have to know.
Imagine someone's never seen the show and they heard us say in the first episode, you can listen to this without watching the show, so they just truly think everything and they think that Emily and Melissa is true.
Genius. We find out that's why we have all these people who love the show, because we've
created something.
They're like, we don't have to watch it. This new world they created. I think Melissa is such a goated character, honestly, nowadays, and I don't know if it's just the older sister core.
I think I also probably one of our big storylines about Melissa that we think makes her kind of redeemable character is when she tells Spencer what she did for her,
right?
And I think
the videotape,
when you're just like listening, not having to write a single thing down, or like not dedicating a portion of your life to the show, you're like
right a large portion.
Melissa just is a shitty older sister, and you're not thinking about the kind that, like the depth of these characters. Really, you're just like watch, and also that's buried in 7 seasons of like a lot of stuff. So I wasn't thinking about it like
I just realized
I don't remember my reasoning.
Thank God.
What did I say?
I don't know either. I don't know. Thank God the greatest showman is what I just called The Life of a Showgirl, Taylor's new album. Thank God it's coming out on October 3rd, because I need to make an edit to Eldest Daughter with Melissa Hastings for sure. And also Favorite Daughter by Lorde with Spencer.
Favorite Daughter is coded for both of them. Yeah,
100%. It should actually be an edit of them both.
It wouldn't be the Pretty Little Podcast if I took a quick little tangent right here, and I'm going to say,
of course, go ahead. No, go for it.
I loved catching all the little Easter eggs in Freakier Friday about like Lindsay Lohan's career.
Oh, I don't
like Meredith Blake is in it.
Oh, yes, that was awesome. Loved that.
And then her wedding is the weekend of October 3rd. And there's a scene where you're like scrolling through the calendar and you see it. Like I'm just like, I love, and you guys know we always talk about like we kind of don't like when celebrities want to put pieces of their career past them. And Lindsay Lohan, and she's someone who would make complete sense if she didn't want to do that.
If they did.
So
yeah, totally.
I don't know. That really was sweet to me. And like seeing the bloopers of how much fun Lindsay Lohan and Meredith Blake were having.
Oh, the bloopers were almost my favorite part. Like I was just also bring back blooper reels. We used to get them at the end of movies and they were fun. This was really, really fun to have. Like they seemed like they were having the best time. I was living for it. Okay, so back to this. We also said, since we're about to be going into Gossip Girl, let's just talk about it. We said at the time that like this show we felt like was pretty on par with Gossip Girl in terms of scandal and whatever. Do we still feel that way?
Here are my thoughts.
It's just such a different type of scandal.
Yeah. And I think at the time,
but also not.
Honestly, in retrospect, it seems more scandalous than it did watching it around the first time. Like the teacher, but like I think Gossip Girl was just more willing to push the envelope. And so was Pretty Little Liars, but they wanted to be like a little like sneaky about it.
Yeah. Well, if they had ultimately not had Ezra and Arya end up together, it was like they tried to like erase the scandal of it a little bit by having them end up together. And it's like any of those storylines we have in Gossip Girl, it stays a scandal. And I think that's like important. Okay. So a few things I want to revisit from the pilot. Arya and Ezra first meeting. First of all, that cheeseburger moment is exactly how we described it. Can I get a cheeseburger? I mean, does anybody work here? It's as if she turns to Ezra Fitz and is like, I'm sorry, do you, like, has anyone taken your order? You have a beer. Okay, great. Well, you're a man. Hello? Can I get a fucking cheeseburger? Can a vegan get a freaking cheeseburger in this town?
She orders a cheeseburger. She gets it back. She's like, and is this Impossible Meat? And they're like, you didn't order it like that. And she's like, you can't look at me and tell vibe that I wanted an Impossible Burger.
It's just, I'm sorry, anyone who like is like Arya's a vegan, don't put eggs in her fake Instagram story you made, Caroline. Watch the pilot, thanks. Maybe be a fucking purist, thanks. Anyway, I don't know when she became a vegan, but it wasn't forever. She wasn't born a vegan. Jesus Christ. Also, I thought what would have been so funny is when Ezra does say, what is the band he says?
B26.
B26. I would have loved it if Arya goes, I think it's the Fray. Because why do they should have had like a fucking nonsense song playing, not Happiness by the Fray.
Contributes to, because, okay, remember when Arya goes, now I'm remembering the world building that we did. You remember when Arya goes to that bar a couple episodes ago? I mean, it was a while ago at this point, when they're like trying to cover up for Rollins, and she's like between whether she's gonna be with Liam or whatever, and someone goes over and hits B26. I wonder if that's just the jukebox. But like, I think the reason I always thought it was a song or a band was because of the number one, the way he says it. And number two,
he literally points up to where the music's coming from.
How would you know what song B26 was?
He literally, exactly. And also,
actually, this all makes total sense. If you're in a bar. Actually, this makes total sense. Arya has no idea what song this is.
Do you know what the song is? Arya's never heard it. Arya just can't think of what to say next to him, but she wants to keep talking. So she goes, I love the song. And he says B26, and she's like, and then he has to be like, wow, you got great taste in music. You got whatever. Like,
but do you remember our world building when we were like, Arya is at this bar, she gets a beer, and she like can't believe she like walks in the room and she's like, okay, everybody's looking at me.
Wait, when was this? In the pilot?
No. When she's at that bar, when she hears B26 come on again.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm like, also like,
Oh, everyone remembers, huh?
But also, this is another thing. That's not that same bar, and not every jukebox is the same.
So why would it exactly? Yeah. So that's another good point. This is
why I would love to have an expert like, I don't know, Marlene King come on the show and explain to us what that is.
Yeah. I know, because it's unfortunately,
so pivotal, and I just never even thought about it.
That's not something Sarah can explain to us, but she would. She would.
I think I've looked on Spotify before. I'm pretty sure it's not on here.
But that song that plays is Happiness by The Fray. And I feel like B26 is referenced by him again later or something.
By Ezra?
Oh, it's the name of the poem he writes.
Mm-hmm. And it's B-26.
Yeah.
Marlene,
we gotta figure this out. Can someone fucking answer me about this? Hello, Lucy. Yes, really.
You acting like there's like a live studio audience. You're like waiting for them.
No, it's like you're a teacher. Speak up.
It's like you're a teacher being like, and the Declaration of Independence was signed.
What? Come on, you guys. Am I really gonna have to call on somebody? It's that vibe. We'll write this down because we might have an episode in the future that might give us an opportunity to at least ask this question to somebody who maybe has some idea about it, but might not really. But just write it down because it's something that we want to know. Okay. At the very least, it would be good to get this person's take.
I wonder if it's something she's even thought about.
Probably isn't. She's probably going to think we're weird, but that's fine. She already knows that. Okay. Yeah. So that's crazy.
She and then also we say so funny.
She definitely does. She's like, why are you guys doing a podcast? She's like, very weird. Anyway, the other thing that's so funny about this moment is like we say in this pilot, and I rewatching the pilot, I felt the exact same way. Show me what happens on the way to the bathroom. I need to know how they get there. And they are kissing as though they've known each other for years. There's a moment where Arya pulls back and looks at him and like shakes her head. And I'm like, girl. Yeah, but like watching it now, I'm just like,
and I stand by what I said. I think I said this in the episode. Like, truly one of the hottest things I've ever seen in my whole life.
It's why it worked. It's why they worked. But like, it is just so goofy. So, okay, one thing you and I got in a little fight about in the pilot is, did Arya lie? Because he says, what are you majoring in? And she says, I'm leaning towards English. And you were adamant that she was lying, and I was like, I think she just circumvented the truth.
I wasn't adamant.
But you were adamant she was lying, yeah.
Here we go again. Classic. I think it's a form of lying.
Mm-hmm.
Because she knows what he's really asking her. And the assumption in the conversation is that that's the assumption in the conversation. That like, he's assuming he's in college and she's letting him think that.
It's what she wants.
And she's also, and I'm not blaming her for this, and I'm not blaming her for how the relationship continues, but she is like, she in this moment, in this day, he doesn't think he's, I mean, I guess, no, I know that
he does though.
Right. Okay. From the
this
pilot
is the thing
lens,
we keep forgetting. We keep forgetting this. Like,
if we pretend he didn't know her, and like, it's how you watch it the first time you watch the pilot. It's like she is lying and letting him think she's older than he is. So then like he's not breaking the law in his brain.
Okay. Other question for you. Do you think, because obviously we know that he did know Arya and he knew who she was and he was purposely interested. Mm-hmm. One, do you think that he knew she would be in his class?
I've always wondered that. No,
that's a good question.
Here's what's so hard is because so much of the show was kind of like as we go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. Week by week, figuring out what the plot is,
So, like, it's hard to say because because you can't, it's same with Dan being Gossip Girl. It's like, you can watch it through that lens, but there's so much in the beginning of the show that is a point in the Dan isn't Gossip Girl column. And I think, like, you see Ezra's reaction in the first day of school, and it feels really genuine and legitimate. Mm-hmm.
And like, if it isn't, if you did know she was going to be there, why'd you do that?
Yeah, exactly. Because now everybody's
why are you trying to blow up your spot?
So I think,
and that's the other thing I have to say. It is so crazy when that happens in that scene, and every single person turns their entire body around to look at Arya.
I know a slut when I see one.
Spencer's like, are you fucking kidding me? I thought I was the only slut in this town, at least in this class. God damn it. I have to do something crazy tonight. Spencer in this moment decides what she's going to do tonight.
I'm gonna lean over and take my future brother-in-law's drink out of his hand.
Vodka soda. And take a sip and leave my red lipstick on it.
I hate when she fucking sits down at the table and she goes, I'll take a vodka soda. Or what?
Okay, Spencer. Haha, very
that's
funny.
What she orders, right? I think.
Yeah, I think that's what she orders. I hated when I'm watching it because I was like, don't do this. Like, don't. Spencer's the victim. Don't set her up to not be the victim. Mm-hmm. And that's what they kind of do in that moment with her and Ren, where like she's sitting there. I'm sorry, she's wearing the top that Hannah told her to get specifically because it would draw attention. She's sitting there, and the way that she is looking at Ren, the way she is speaking to Ren, like that's her intention there, especially knowing that this has already happened. So she's seeing this as a viable option. Now we know it's already happened because she was taken advantage of, and she's being taken advantage of by Ren as well. Like that's not up for debate. I just wish that they hadn't set it up in this way where like she's teasing him. Yeah. Which is the way that she is approaching this. Not to mention she looks 40, especially in the mall scene. Like when she's wearing the blazer and her hair, she looks 40 years old. But it just, I'm like, don't set her up to be like this siren, exactly. You know? Like, I don't know. I just, but seeing Ren again and knowing that
who actually
he had made a lasting impact.
A lot of his mannerisms remind me of the guy from Freakier Friday. The husband.
Oh, maybe. Wow.
They really remind me of each other.
Interesting.
And that's the guy from The Good Place.
He is, yes, love him. He is such a little cutie, but also I stand by what I said. Suds. He has the suds. He looks like he has the suds.
Especially in that first scene when he comes out of the bar. Not so much at dinner.
His nose is all red.
But when he comes out of the bar. I think it's probably because it was so cold there.
Oh, it must
because
have been.
You know what I mean? That's when they were wearing their Uggs and bikinis. Because they were in Vancouver.
Right. No, right, of course. Oh my God, never forget.
Never forget when we were all in Vancouver.
Never forgot when we were all in Vancouver. What a time that was. Okay, you said that we grow to love Allie by the end of the show. And that she really becomes somebody that like we really love and root for. Thoughts on that now?
I don't think that's the general consensus of how people feel generally, especially now.
That's how you
But what
feel?
I do stand by is that's how we felt at the end. Okay. Like everybody, like I mean, I remember the discourse online. Everybody was so excited about Emily and Allie.
It's definitely how we were meant to feel too. Yeah. And I think that the Emerson ripple makes it easier to feel that way because we want to root for Emily and Emily is so good. You know what I mean? So it's like if Allie's with her, how bad can she be? Because Emily is just so good.
But I think that opinion has had some patina on it because I think that especially when you watch it in more of a condensed way, you're like, how redeemed can you be if you were ever acting the way that Allie was?
Right. Exactly my point. And wait, this is funny. I was looking up some trivia. So initially, Sasha was tapped to be Hannah, but Marlene thought she was too young to play a shoplifter on ABC Family.
So
I'm like, okay, so we had her doing all this? Have her like have a pregnancy scare?
I had a question for you. Do you stand by and I think you probably stand by this opinion, but do you stand by this in terms of like Sasha's acting prowess at that age? You were like, it's easier to play mean.
Okay, so I do think it's easier to play mean. However, watching her, and there was a line that I picked up on this time watching the pilot that I haven't previously. It's when she and Arya are running away from Mona in the flashback. And Allie goes, what a loser, or something. And she says it, and she's such a loser. She says it in some way that like, as much as I do think it's easier to act mean and have it be believed, because like mean TV characters are often so much meaner than like real life people, at least outwardly, that there's always a degree of like dramatization. There's always a degree of this doesn't feel real, but Sasha Peterson does make it feel real. Yeah. And she is the girl. And I think part of it is her age, how close she is in age to this type of girl.
She's not having to act back.
She's
like no, she's not like the girls having to think about
middle
their
high school girl. Like she's got it down and it feels very real. Whereas a lot of Mona's mean lines feel very put on. Now they're delivered with the perfect amount of camp and like everything. They're perfect.
It's kind of who Mona is. Or it's almost even like with Hannah, when Hannah is, not that Hannah's ever mean, but when she's not playing the kind of mean like Allie, but there is, she's trying to be like Allie a little bit. Yeah. And with Ashley, I think this makes Hannah more endearing, is that it's not as believable, but like Ashley Benson has to dig deeper maybe than Sasha Peterson does.
I think so too. Yeah, I think Sasha Peterson, though, she is acting circles around these girls. Like, I don't know.
And I liked what you said about, like, we couldn't have had, like, a couple more, like, bonding moments before this first scene.
Yes, I know. I would have loved them to feel closer.
What I will say, I do think it works for them. Okay, here's what I'm gonna say. Spencer and Allie maybe needed more bonding time because they're on the most equal playing field of the 5 of them. But the awkwardness and the timidness and the unsuredness works
for Emily
and
for
Hannah.
Sure.
And Aria a little bit.
Yeah, no, you're right.
But like it kind of makes
Aria
sense
less,
that they
but
are
you're
fully
totally
comfortable with Allie.
Yeah, that's a really, really good point. I feel like they are the two that feel they're vying for her love and affection and attention the most. Aria is like, I'm different, and that's who I am. I'm not, I am different. Whereas Spencer and Allie are vying to be Queen Bee. So it's like they all are kind of looking for something different from Allie. I think Aria's thing is like, look, Allie likes me and I don't even have to try. Like I don't have to change anything about myself.
Except
she just
dye
likes
my
me
hair
how I am.
Look a little weird.
Except dye my hair, exactly. Yeah, so I don't know. I think that's a really, really good point. Also, I don't know if we noticed this the first time around, but like I know the girls are falling asleep like in their clothes. Like it doesn't seem like they meant to fall asleep. But Emily and Hannah are both in like comfy clothes. I know again that's like part of their characters at the time. Aria falls asleep on the floor, and I just need to point out that she's wearing heeled boots, like at least a 3-inch heel.
She's like in a Tina Cohen Chang outfit, I feel like.
Yes. She's wearing a metal
for sure.
belt over her clothes, of course, always over the clothes. But she's wearing a metal belt that I know was pressing in while she was sleeping. And she has 2 long necklaces with like pendants on them. And she was sleeping on the floor. And I'm just like, no fucking way. Like, just put her in PJs. Come on, for real. Put her in a fucking, we get it. We know her whole thing. But I guess that's like the only scene we really get of her as Goth Aria.
So they needed to,
besides like the flashback, so they had to like lean into that.
Chang, for sure.
Okay, a couple other things. Let's talk about Emily and Maya for a second. It's funny because I do end up falling in love with Maya. Like I do. I miss her, and I did love her for Emily at some point. But in this pilot, I stand by everything we said.
She's so fucking annoying.
She's so annoying.
So I'm corrupting you.
You just sounded just like her. That was such a good line. And Emily's eye flicker and the Shay Mitchell smirk, that pairing. Oh my God, that was electric.
And the way the music
and the best
stops
when Maya goes,
what
did she say? Would it be totally crazy for me to ask you to help me?
Because the song goes, she goes, and then she doesn't like laugh. But the song that's playing whenever they're in Maya's room, which is like, is this really the DiLaurentis house or is it not?
Don't you want
And then it stops though when she says, so I'm corrupting you.
It goes, don't want what I got. And then it goes back into it. Exactly, is that what you're talking about? But it stops on the purpose.
As soon as she says that, and she does the Shay Mitchell smirk, and then they smoke weed.
Which is, I still think it's crazy Emily smoked weed.
Me too.
I'm like, Emily, were you just spineless, too afraid to say no to her?
Like just you waiting to
literally
be
can't do that.
Whipped for someone.
I know. Like, what is happening here? I still think the moment is still iconic. Some people dream of making it out. All her Canadian out. And I love when Megan Albatross puts those in her videos.
Did she, not taking credit for this for her genius, but like, did she start doing that before she listened to the podcast?
Probably.
I don't remember.
Probably. I'm gonna give it to her. Probably.
Me too.
Megan, if you're listening, I have your back here. It is such a good pilot. Other funny things just about us, the way we wrapped it up. I don't know when we stopped doing that, but
that was shocking.
We signed off at the exact same. We go, and this was, let's do it right now. 1, 2, 3. The Pretty Little Podcast. Horrible. We would never be able to do it virtually. I bet that's why we stopped.
I wonder, guys, can y'all let us know? Well, someone tagged us when we first said Splat.
Did we ever do it again?
And I didn't even we probably did it in the first 3 episodes. But my question is, did you listen back to when Splat started?
No, not yet.
Me either. But we found the episode.
But somebody did go back and write it. And I'm just saying, if you guys are ever going back and listening and you find like a moment that something happened that is lore, or like, I would love to know which episode was the ceiling episode, because you guys love talking about the ceiling caving in. Yeah. But like, what was the first time we told it? I would love to know like the first tattoo or some really good tattoos. Like, there are things that we would love to know about. So if you find any of those, please just make a little comment on the episode so we can go find it. Last thing I want to say, because we're about to go into our pilot episode, and at the very end of it, we sign off and we give a different Pretty Little Liar or Pretty Little Podcast Instagram handle, because at that time we changed it after the incident of 2024. So Our new handle, in case you don't know, don't get confused. It's at The Pretty Little Podcast. The O in podcast is a 0 on Instagram. On TikTok, it's just at The Pretty Little Podcast. And you should be following us on both places, because if you're not following it, you're only getting half the story.
That's what they say.
Right? That's what they say. So guys, this is our little revisit of the pilot of our pilot. Now we're going to bring you guys back in. Enjoy the very first episode of the Pretty Little Podcast. Let us know what you think. Thank you for being with us on this ride. And we hope you've had the best Labor Day ever.
901 free at last.
Free at last. That's what you're all going to be saying when we finish the show. Just kidding, right? You're going to be crying yourself to sleep. All right. We're getting into it. And
splat.
Hello and welcome to the Pretty Little Podcast. We're your hosts.
I'm Phoebe.
And I'm Caroline, and we are just some pretty little sisters.
Ready to dive back in to the cultural phenomenon that was Pretty Little Liars.
The just electrifying
7
series
years of my life I'll never get back.
And you're choosing to waste even more of your years on this.
Well, I rewatched Pretty Little Liars back in April, and I got through it in about 3 weeks, like the entire thing. And I texted Caroline and I said, did you ever finish Pretty Little Liars? Because the ending is truly a whirlwind that you just feel like you have to tell every single person you've ever met about, because you just don't understand.
I feel like there are a lot of people that watched Pretty Little Liars that didn't feel like they had to tell every single person that they've ever met about it. But I did not.
You don't know how it ended, so
no, I did not finish it.
Like.
I did not finish it, but that's going to make this journey even more exciting, I think.
I agree. It's going to be tough to bite my tongue a little bit, but we're excited to dive in. We're going to talk everything from the musical decisions to the fashion decisions.
Lots about the fashion.
And honestly, I'm remembering a lot more of the writing that was really just, it's so dated now.
Absolutely.
That you're looking back on it.
And I think also we're going to do a lot of focusing on just like the legality of it all and these storylines that these were supposed to be high schoolers.
Yeah, and like they're only 24 hours in a day.
Yes, I understand this was sort of like inspired by Gossip Girl, the greatest show of all time, but this show is significantly worse. I would say worse than Gossip Girl in terms of like what these people are always doing. Would you agree?
Well, I just think it's more criminal. I think that in Gossip Girl, it's a little bit more appalling sometimes.
Yes, Serena van der Woodsen killed a man with cocaine.
Yes, that was, I would say they're pretty much on par. Actually, now that I'm really thinking about some of the stuff that goes down in Gossip Girl.
Okay, fair. But the difference is that this was on like ABC Family.
This
was advertised as like for high schoolers, about high schoolers, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna like see myself on the screen.
So is Gossip Girl.
No, it wasn't for high school. I remember distinctly after I'd gotten in trouble for watching Gossip Girl when my mom thought it was too inappropriate, and I was driving down some road in not a flex, but Hollywood, and I was in 8th grade, and like there was it had just come out, and there were all these billboards for Gossip Girl, and one of them said, "Your mother's worst nightmare," or whatever about the show, and that really like stuck with Mom. And I don't think they were saying that about this show. I think they were like,
well, parents certainly weren't happy about this show, because for me, I remember watching this show as a young kid, as your younger sister.
Phoebe is 6 years younger than me. I think that's important to note for the podcast. I'm
so
26. She's 21.
I was 10 when the show came out. And I would wait for Caroline to watch her DVR recorded Pretty Little Liars episodes. And I would go down to the basement and watch them. And I would stand an inch away from the TV, volume 1. And at any noise in the house, I would turn it off immediately.
It literally, same degree of like intensity and secrecy as if you were watching porn. Let's just say it.
But it was Pretty Little Liars.
But it was which, as we've gone back, some of these scenes are like
Gossip Girl level.
Yeah.
For ABC Family. And another moment for Pretty Little Liars was when it saw the transition from ABC Family to Freeform.
Freeform, first of all, rocked my fucking world. Do not fix something that's not broken. ABC Family was not broken. But they had to do it because they were like, we're now releasing a show where like this girl's fucking her teacher, like this girl's fucking her sister's fiance. Like it's not a family show
at all.
Maybe they like had a come to Jesus moment with that. Well, Phoebe, who would you say you relate most to on this show? And let's limit it to the 4 Pretty Little Liars.
Well, it's always been a toss-up for me between everybody but Spencer.
Really?
Hannah, well, when I watched the show the first time, Aria was my favorite because I was also going through a pick-me phase, I think. And
I felt I was in love with my English teacher.
Not like other girls.
Oh, yeah.
I felt artsy.
You weren't.
But not
arguably not like other girls.
Maybe not for the reasons Aria wasn't like other. I wasn't reading. I didn't.
We'll post a photo of Phoebe at age 11 on the Instagram.
Hannah, I related to, and just
she was blonde.
Yes, and not the brightest sometimes.
Aw, you're smart in your own special way.
Well, I think you could say the same for Hannah. She honestly pulls through time and time again.
She does literally shoplift like Gucci sunglasses in episode 1.
By the time you finish the show, you're like, Hannah is actually the smartest of the 4 of them. Spencer, get out of here. And Emily, I think I'm quiet and loyal. Like around people like Allie, I would be more like.
Always have that smirk on your face.
What smirk?
You know the Emily Shay Mitchell smirk. And like, let's be clear. No Shay Mitchell hate on this pod. She is
Here's the thing.
It girl.
I also want to get this out of the way. A lot of people in the discourse that Caroline's not familiar with, they don't like Emily. They think she is bland and not a well-written character. I really enjoy Emily's character.
Maybe because...
Maybe I'm bland and don't have a lot of character development.
No. Okay, now should I say who I think you're most like? Or who you most relate to? I guess, like, I feel like it's hard to, like, say any of these girls because you say one of their names and you immediately think of, like, the scandal.
Or, like, the thousand that's, like, attached to them.
Done. Yeah. And it's, like, this podcast, we are going to look at them for, like, who they are as a person. We're not just looking at the awful things that they're doing or the scandals they're involved in. So, like, every time I think of, like, Aria, I'm like, fuck their teacher. And so it's hard for me to say that you remind me of her.
She's a writer.
That is who I would probably say you're the most like, just because you also are like brooding in your bedroom writing songs.
That's so embarrassing.
Oh, well.
It is fair. Who do you see yourself most in?
I also truly felt like when I was watching it, also felt very felt like I saw myself in Aria because
everyone wanted to be Aria. And
because she was fucking her hot teacher.
But they also, I mentioned this in my notes because a lot of people talk about how in the beginning episodes, it seems like they're making Aria the main character of the show.
And she ends the theme song.
I honestly think they end up deciding Spencer is more of the main character.
Well, I think honestly, part of that must have been necessity because Spencer is far and away the best actor on that show. She gets like insane.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, the acting that girl's doing.
Not to mention the problematic aspects of that storyline for Spencer.
Absolutely.
But Troy and Belisario did what she could. All of these actresses did.
And yeah, with Aria, I also was like Englishy. Like I, majored in English in college. And I just thought for sure, like I was deep enough to have an affair with my English teacher. Never did. Want that to be very clear on this pod. Never did. But also like big Spencer energy, big Hannah energy.
I see you mostly as a Spencer.
Yeah.
But in high school, and for reasons that we'll get into probably when we talk about Hannah Marin's fashion impact on millennials across the world, I think Caroline was a Hannah in high school for sure.
Should we just get into it? Should we just start with episode 1 and kind of walk through it? The goal is that whoever is listening to this does not have to rewatch. You absolutely can. We encourage it.
We've done it
you don't have to.
3 times this year, probably.
Yeah, Phoebe's wasted like so many brain cells on this show. We're not asking that of you, but we're going to try to make it so that you don't have to. And you can check our Instagram, like when we're talking about specific like moments or outfits. We will not leave you in the dark on those because they need to be like brought back from the grave, a la Alison DiLaurentis. And with that, here we go. Episode 1. Okay, so scene 1.
We open
on a stormy night in Rosewood.
Are you joking? Rosewood, Pennsylvania.
I don't know if it was Rosedale or Rosewood.
No.
Rosewood, Pennsylvania. And what else would be playing but the iconic Don't Trust Me by 303? Primary lyrics, don't trust a hoe. I am absolutely certain, okay, like I know when people film shows and films, whatever, they film like out of chronological order. This scene absolutely was the first scene these girls shot together.
For sure, and I think they needed it. They probably needed this the most.
They could have probably rehearsed it a few times, like done this in real life to like bond a little bit before they did this. I understand that like there was an insane age difference between these girls. Like Allison is 13
when she films this.
And then how old is Spencer? Because I think she's the oldest, right?
I believe Troyan is 24.
10 years older. Imagine having to be bullied by a 13-year-old.
And not to mention, Sasha walks into that barn and immediately is a better actor than every single person in there.
But also, I have to say, controversial opinion, it's easier to act mean.
I'm not an actress, so I don't know.
Right, you wouldn't know. I, as the resident actress, will tell you it's easier, I think,
I think it's easier for you to act mean.
Oh my God. Okay, fair. I think also I don't know, whatever. I think it's harder for Spencer to do the acting that she does consistently throughout this series. Am I in love with Spencer? Than Allie does.
Well, no, that's fair. And Allie's acting does not necessarily maintain this level.
And she's got these like stinging, biting lines that I think really make her like
but
stick
she delivers
out. Like, you remember
it would be
her.
so easy for her as a 13-year-old to come into that room with those 20-year-old actresses and be not as convincing as she is, but she walks in there.
I think we have to say some of the awful things she says because one of our biggest takeaways while rewatching the show is that Allie is a monster. Like,
absolutely.
She genuinely is the girl that your mom would be like, please stop hanging out with her. Like, she's the reason you're in therapy.
Yes. And for those of you like me who finished the show out, was dedicated to
giving me absolute
to the fandom. You'll remember that by the time the show was over, we loved Allie, and Allie was really a kind person. She had a great redemption arc. And then I remember rewatching this and watching the first episode and being so appalled by the things that Allie said that we were just meant to completely forget.
But we should talk about some of the things that Allie says. So, like, the first thing I would say, she walks in, Hannah immediately asks her, Allie, did you download the new Beyonce?
Which is some of the writing we're talking about that is like, haven't done
they're
that.
Like relevancy. How do we make like girls sound like they're having a real conversation after drinking? Like, what's the most insane thing have you downloaded the new Beyonce?
It's like gotta be the most pressing thing on her mind.
And Allie, too cool for school, says not yet. And M then says, I am loving her new music video. And Allie hits back, doesn't miss a beat. Maybe a little too much, M.
Absolutely horrifying.
And Lucy Hill looks over like, yeah, bitch, I agree.
And Hannah looks into her popcorn. Hannah, who is 130 pounds.
Hannah, who literally, like, I can see her collarbones. Like
truly, these writers said, it's a hefty Hannah scene. Let's throw her in a sweatshirt.
Let's put her in, like, a couple layers. Like, we're just, like, she
or honestly, just a t-shirt. Put her hair in a low pony.
Just, like, we're going to pull her hair down a little bit around her face so you can't see her bone structure. We're going to put her in, like, a t-shirt that's not tight. We're going to put her in, like, a sweater as well. And then that is hefty Hannah. And
that's enough for us.
But they do her dirty later, I would say.
I agree.
In the Sean flashbacks.
Oh,
We'll get to that. But that, I think, is the first thing that Allie says that really, like, immediately we all should have been like, okay. It's so awkward. There's no music playing throughout the entirety of the scene. And there's so much fake laughing, this forced laughter where they're like, you're just having a good time with your friends. You are drinking, you're partying. It's almost right before school. You girls are like living your best lives. You're listening to 303. It just is a very uncomfortable first scene of an entire series. Allie goes missing. Spencer shows up. It's
immediately sus.
It's fully pouring outside. Spencer is completely dry, just got a blowout, wearing an Argyle sweater vest over a starched white button-down collared shirt. And she says, Allie's gone. I think I heard a scream. And she says it as calm as she possibly could.
And she's talking to Aria, who, upon when all the girls wake up, they say, where's Allison? Where's Spencer?
First thing she notices is that Allison is gone.
Aria walks up, is fully looking at Spencer with a flashlight in her hand, and says, Allison?
Yeah. Alison, is that you? Spencer's like, I have dark brown hair, olive skin, brown eyes, whatever color eye she is. I'm wearing a bright red Argyle sweater vest.
And the ugliest jeans you've ever seen in your whole life.
But I must be Alison, who is blonde and wearing a yellow shirt. I digress.
The iconic yellow shirt.
Yes. We got to move into probably the most dramatic thing that could happen in the first 5 minutes of a television show on ABC Family.
We meet Aria Montgomery.
We meet Mr. Fitz.
And we meet Mr. Fitz.
We meet him. I really think we need to like dissect this bar scene because number one, Aria decides to go to the Hollis Bar and Grill at 4:15 p.m. and sit at the bar as, how old is she in this scene?
16.
Okay, she's 16. She's like, well, I just lived in Iceland for a year and there the drinking age is 16, so I can sit at the bar. Sits right at the bar. Bartender's fully like doing something. Didn't ask your order. She's like, can I have a cheeseburger? She's like incredulous. She's like, hello.
At 4:15.
Like that's an awkward time to eat a cheeseburger.
It's also, one might argue, an awkward time to just be sitting at a bar, drinking bourbon, reading.
Alone. It's clearly it's not like a trendy bar that like everyone goes to or
or maybe it is just not
at 4:15 on like
in the
a
afternoon.
Sunday because school starts
Tomorrow.
I think the next day.
Yeah.
Correct. Also, yeah, brother, you're starting your first teaching job tomorrow teaching English at a high school. Shouldn't you be like
preparing?
Doing your fucking lesson plan? Like
running your lines?
Yeah, like truly, why are you're gonna be hungover tomorrow. So already questionable personal life for a teacher, I would say.
Yeah. And it gets even worse.
Yeah,
let me just say, 10-year-old Phoebe standing an inch away from the TV to the TV screen.
She's like, this is what it's like when you're 16.
She couldn't have been happier to watch that scene a million times.
Well, so then, obviously seeing this beautiful waif of a girl order a cheeseburger at 4:15 sitting at the bar alone makes Ezra Fitz crazy. And he has to say something.
She definitely gives not like other girls, pick me vibes.
Such a pick me girl.
Yes.
I mean, but we were still rooting for her.
And I was rooting for them.
We were rooting for them.
I absolutely was. The chemistry between Ian Harding and Lucy Hale was unlike anything.
Did they ever date in real life?
No.
Okay, I have gone through his Instagram extensively, and he posts about her all
They're
the
still
time.
friends, and he's still friends with Shay Mitchell as well.
I feel like he thinks they're better friends than maybe they are. Because he didn't really go anywhere after the show, correct?
No, and he did go to CMU for acting. He has some of the best acting training in the show. Fun fact.
Damn.
Yeah.
He's a good actor.
Yeah, I would agree.
He talks to her. What is the first thing he says to her at the bar?
You are right down there.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Perfect. So he's nurturing. He's caring. He's already giving us this older man caregiver vibe, which is absolutely what she likes about him, saying, you all right down there? Well, she's actually not all right, Ezra, because she's looking at a picture of her dead best friend.
Doesn't know. She's dead at the moment.
Would be 16 is what the sign says. It's the most dramatic. That's the thing. After someone's been missing for a year, they're not front page on the newspaper. It's sad to say. They're just not. Allie takes up the entire front page of the Rosewood Tribune or whatever.
It's that or the Rosewood Observer. Not to be a super fan, but I do think it's Observer.
Okay, we've already gathered that you're a super fan. Anyway, then she very swiftly mentions that she's just, been in Europe. And that is so hot to Ezra because he probably studied abroad.
He did. He mentions it. He
said,
but
he's like, I
spent some time in Reykjavik before.
Let's be clear. Why were you there? You were studying abroad. I hate when people are like, I'm so well traveled. It's you did a semester in Italy.
Aria fully lived there with her family, which Ezra would have found out if he had not been talking about himself.
Well, but I also think Aria does a lot of talking about herself.
Fair enough.
He's like, I just graduated from, or I'm starting my teaching job tomorrow. And she goes, I think I'd like to teach. It's he did not ask you that. He didn't say what do you want to do? He's I'm teaching. You could have said what are you teaching? I could give her a million questions she could have asked him.
But you know what?
I could have taught her how to flirt, but I guess I didn't need to.
He asks her another question and she starts her pretty little lying.
I don't know that she lied. Okay. I don't know that she lied.
Is this for real? She absolutely did. He said, what's your major?
She says, I'm leaning towards English, which when you're 16, you do know what you're leaning towards in college.
But you also fully know that you don't have a major.
She wasn't fully telling the truth, but she didn't say my major is English. She did not. She says, I'm leaning towards English.
Okay, you sound like Arya when she's talking to Ezra later on.
I'm gaslighting you, right? Okay, Arya is a gaslighter.
Maybe.
Wow.
Maybe they all are a little bit.
We'll get into that. Anyway, that just turns Ezra on so much that he has to scoot 2 full bar stools closer to her, which
absolutely. With his book, he couldn't leave that behind.
Yeah, they've been talking for 15 seconds. He's got the book just in case like she gets boring. He'll have to open it up again. Let's go back first. She says, I'm leaning towards English, but I write too.
Oh, of course.
Bruh,
he also didn't ask you that.
Writing is fully part of English. Like when you take English classes, like writing is like one of the main components, I would say. So like that you didn't need to say. And then she's like, but it's really just personal stuff. Like for me, like don't ask to read it. She doesn't say don't ask to read it, but it's fully implied.
Oh, absolutely. Which means that she absolutely wants him.
She's like, we're close now, but we're not that close.
And he's like, well, maybe you'd let me read it sometime.
Like, what if we went in the bathroom? I put my tongue right down your throat. Would we be close enough then for you to let me read your diary?
And she's like, hell yeah, we would,
she's
Ezra.
Like, fuck yeah. Which honestly, I can't say I would have been like, let's have, but what I'm missing from the show is the interim between being at that bar and getting into the bathroom. Like what happened that I want the journey to the bathroom. And I also want to know what the fuck does that bartender think?
Because it's not like they're in like a crowded bar where they like
they're
met and they were like, oh, we
there.
need to go somewhere quiet.
I think there's like a lone man like playing pool in the corner.
Probably just practicing.
Just like ambiance. But like I want to know
and
how it progressed.
It's not
so
like
fast.
it's also not like they were like hammered and were like stumbling to the bathroom.
No. It's like I don't know. And also, I mean, I have to say like the way they're kissing is as if like they've just like reignited they're so in love. They're like I think 6 months into their relationship.
That's how they got us rooting for them. We were like, oh my God, they are twin flames.
Yeah, they had some significant chemistry. I mean, that's how they got us. They're just right away, like each girl gets a scene where it's like just shock value, shock value, shock value. They made out. It was hot.
It was everything to me. It was everything to me as an 11-year-old.
It was hot as fuck. And we just ate that shit up. We couldn't wait for more. And now introducing the it girl.
Hannah Marin.
Hannah Marin. Okay, so I think we have to start with just the absolute travesty that were sunglasses in like the 2010 time.
Not a she's trying out approximately 16 sunglasses right now, and
I remember like, you know how every trend has like the one where people start wearing it and you're like, I don't know about that. And then like everyone's wearing it. I had a long pause before I fully bought into the like bug eye sunglasses. If you guys remember these sunglasses that girls used to wear, and Hannah's got like these pink rimmed, truly like spherical
like
bug eye.
Sepia toned.
Yeah, they're awful. Okay, so then we see Spencer from afar.
Spencer,
she's giving
mistake her for Sarah Palin, Hillary Rodham Clinton.
Yeah, she is giving like first lady, like presidential candidate. However, we go up. Hannah is like, we haven't spoken in a year, but I totally feel comfortable approaching you in the mall and rattling off your entire resume and capping it off with, in your leisure time, you Facebook and tweet.
Tweet.
So, and Spencer goes, you know me. I like to stay busy.
And Hannah goes, it's called a summer vacay, Spence. They haven't spoken since their best friend disappeared.
Yeah, the lingo.
Which actually, Hannah is still having like a fun combo with Spencer. And Spencer goes, so did you see the paper today?
Spencer, Debbie fucking Downer. Wah, wah. Like Spencer's like, my job here is to harsh the fucking mood, Hannah.
Our friend's been missing for a year and I might have had something to do with it. Did you see the paper?
Literally, but they do insinuate later in the show that like Hannah and Spencer have like maintained a little bit of contact. So maybe it's not as weird.
Because we'll get to this when we get to this scene, but when Hannah walks into the classroom and sees Arya and Emily in the back.
Yes.
It was like ice
like
cold.
An eye roll.
Like Allison level. Allie looking at like Mona.
Yes.
When
like
Allie was alive.
Major like the audacity.
And then Spencer walks in and it's like, hey.
Yeah, they give a little way, but they did just talk the day before, so it's like would be weird if they didn't say hi. I understand that. I do have a major bone to pick.
Okay.
With Spencer.
Fair.
over the outfit she decides she's going to pick out for Melissa's engagement party.
It's just dinner where they're meeting Ren.
Okay.
Which she's about to have a lot of fun.
She's about to have a lot of fun. And something that this scene tells me, Spencer's like, I have to buy a new outfit to meet Melissa's boyfriend. It's like, no, you don't, Spencer. You're extremely wealthy and you have the wardrobe of a 40-year-old woman. So you don't need to buy something new. You're fine. The reason you want to buy something new is because you want to look good because you have a history of fucking Melissa's boyfriends. Let's just call a spade, Spencer.
Melissa's boyfriend, too. Melissa is 6 years older.
Yeah, it's illegal.
Spencer.
Like, we don't talk about that. That's what they're not talking about, is that, like,
yes,
Spencer kissing these men, like, these men are predators.
And it's very interesting to see the difference. Obviously, Ezra's a teacher.
Yes. But even so, they don't villainize him, at least in the earlier episodes, the way they should. They don't acknowledge that these men are actually pedophiles. It's not just a scandal.
It's not like Melissa's a senior in high school.
Exactly. This is not a scandal. This is a crime. Let's just, like, keep that in the back of your heads.
And then these characters are recurring.
Absolutely.
Ren is in the show for seasons.
They're like, the only bad thing you can do in the show is kill someone, and even then, maybe not. So anyway, Spencer's like, I'm going to purchase this like starched white button-down collared shirt, a size too small so my boobs like pop out. And that's her idea of like a sexy outfit. She's probably got 15 of those shirts in her closet at home.
Literally. Hannah sees her pick it up, walk it over to the cashier, and her eyes roll so far out of her head when she sees it.
Hannah Marin, chaotic good.
Hannah's a great friend.
She saved the day.
I know Emily's the quote-unquote loyal one, but I think Hannah takes the cake.
Hannah's pretty loyal, I'm not going to lie. Hannah understands loyalty because she wasn't always the it girl.
That is such a good point.
So it means something different to her.
Yes.
And I think that's, you know,
so
we gotta get to the heart of these characters.
Spencer, I'm not going to give you a reason to be made fun of by people.
Yeah, Spencer, I'm not going to let you be in that situation, even though we haven't spoken in a year.
Yeah. Oh, I love Hannah.
God bless Hannah.
Hannah Marin.
Is this a Hannah Stan pod?
It absolutely is.
Ashley Benzo, we love you.
Yes, forever and always.
First day of school.
First day of school. And Emily's introduction?
Lackluster.
3 seconds tops.
And she gets shit on.
This is Arya's second introduction, essentially, is what it feels like.
Emily is giving supporting character vibes because she's like, let me give you the backstory on everyone, main character Arya. You know?
Literally.
And Arya fully is like, we're not fucking friends.
Yes,
bitch.
Emily goes, it's so weird we haven't talked.
She goes, well, we kind of lost touch, Emily.
We're not.
If I were Emily, I'd be like, okay, fuck me. And I'd like walk in the bathroom and cry for a little bit.
So they're walking into school talking about Allie.
But we do have to mention the drop-off.
Oh my goodness, so, I forgot.
Arya's father, Byron, who is just so
creepy
to me. He's like...
And I think he'd be creepy without his storyline.
Yeah, it says also he just acts weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he's like, yet again, we're like 10 minutes into the show, bringing up his affair.
He's obsessed with it.
Yeah, he's obsessed with it. He's so paranoid. But he doesn't seem sorry.
He's also like
clear. He's worried about Arya
for sure.
tattling. He's not worried about like I did something wrong.
He's also like, let me send my 16-year-old daughter into her first day of sophomore year
after a year away
with this horrible thing to think about as she walks in.
Imagine how many times.
And her friend is missing, probably dead.
How many? Well, he's not thinking about that because he's selfish.
Right.
How many car rides did we have with like mom or dad going to school and like you get in a fight or like they bring something up or like God forbid they say something about your outfit or something and you're just like you get out of the car like absolutely furious and like the rest of your day is just
really messed up.
That's what he just did to her on the first day.
But about her
like a genuine
making Arya feel guilty and stupid for catching him cheating on her mom.
He's oh my God, so much gaslighting.
Gaslight.
It's our buzzword for this.
Gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss.
Yes.
Absolutely. We've got some girl bosses in this show.
Have to,
Cece Drake, I'm looking at you.
But yeah, I think with him, like, it's classic, like, man-child bullshit. Like, I'm going to run away from my problems instead of, like, facing the fact that, like, I cheated on my wife with my student and my daughter. I've now put my daughter in a very, like, adult position that's, like, not fair to her at all. And I'm keeping this giant secret from my wife. And like, I'm living a lie basically. So I'm going to take my entire family away, uproot their lives for an entire year. Mm-hmm. We're going to go to Iceland, so I can get as far as fuck away from this thing I did instead of actually being like, I fucked up.
Because he can't control his actions.
Yeah, like try to be better. Don't like literally ruin your whole family's life for a year. Bring them back and you're in the exact same place you were when you started.
Yes. So Arya's day is ruined. She then is walking into school with Emily.
God, what a day for Arya.
Truly. They're talking about Allison. Can't believe it's been a year. Emily goes, well, we know she's dead, right?
Emily, ruthless.
And Arya is like,
and good for her. She's fully giving Arya the lay of the land. Just so you know, Hannah and Spencer are still friendly. Yes, Hannah just rolled her eyes at us. We're not friends. Hannah's a new it girl. Mona's her new best friend. Mona went through a major makeover. Arya also kind of rudely comments about how much better Mona looks.
Absolutely. Mona walks in. Emily goes, where there's Hannah, there's Mona. And Arya screams across this small classroom.
That's Hannah?
That's Mona?
Oh, whoops. But later on,
That's
Ella Montgomery goes in on Hannah Marin.
So
we'll get
mother,
there.
like daughter, for sure.
We'll get there for sure. Yeah, but so then we have Mr. Fitz. His back is turned. He's wearing a vest. Lots of vests in this show.
But he does what Matthew Morrison never could in Glee.
What's that?
Oh, he wears a vest real well.
Oh, yes.
I would have done anything for Ezra Fitz.
Here's how you know Ezra Fitz is actually or Ian Harding is so hot because Matthew Morrison played a teacher who gave you the creeps but never fucked a student. Ezra Fitz plays a teacher who doesn't give you the creeps but fully was like having sex with a 16-year-old, and we prefer Mr. Fitz.
We fought for him.
Yeah, correct.
If we hadn't liked Ian Harding, it totally would have panned out the way the books did.
Yeah, they are lucky. They took a full leap of faith. Not that like I think it was a risky choice, but like they just really like got lucky with how good that worked out. However, I kind of feel bad for like Arya as a character that she never got to like have the growth of like, well, I don't know, but like moving on from him where like that would have been an empowering thing for this girl who was actually being taken advantage of, but we don't talk about that. He writes his name on the board. He turns around. Arya's looking at her phone, getting a text we will soon find out is from A. She looks up. Mr. Fitz is staring at her with a full-blown erection. We don't see it on camera. We know it's there.
But it has to happen because he does not have the self-restraint to just internally process what he's seen. Instead, in front of a classroom of like 16-year-olds.
Mouth hinges open.
Holy crap.
Every single student, literally says holy crap. Like what?
And stares at her.
If I was one of his, so like, wait a minute. Even if like no student was like, oh my God, I wonder if they made out in a bar yesterday. Even if like no one thought that, they'd be like, he like thinks she's hot or something.
Which
they'd be like, is that your daughter?
It
like,
would have been the first thing my friends and I would have talked about when we got out of class.
Absolutely. And they would have told their parents, and their parents would have been like, that's a little weird. And someone would have called the principal. For sure. I'm shocked Hannah Marin didn't call the police. Anyway, it's absolutely shocking the way he reacts. And it's a lot. It's like 10 seconds of that.
Yeah.
Which is a lot. And then Arya looks down at her phone. And what does she see?
Let's just see what it says.
I guess the first scene A's ever in.
Our first A text says, maybe he fools around with students all the time. A lot of teachers do. Just ask your dad. A. Wow.
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, so it would have definitely, here's the thing. Okay. If A is sending Arya this text, it would have to be somebody that saw Arya's dad in the car that day. And we know there are only 3 people that saw that because that was the whole thing is Arya didn't tell anyone else. You know, we see Byron and his student Meredith making out in the car. Allie says, is that your dad's car? Arya's like, oh my God, yeah. So like they both see it, but like Mona's in that scene too. So like there are 3 people that could have seen this happen unless we want to include Meredith in this for some reason. So we can conclude that A has to be one of them. And we know it's not Arya.
Maybe it's Allie.
That's the idea they're definitely pushing.
For sure.
Okay, so enter Emily and her mother,
now,
Mrs. Fields.
I'm a Pam Fields stan.
Interesting. Tell us about that.
Well, obviously it didn't start as one. She's not
likable at all
in the beginning, but by the end she really comes around and she's definitely...
Okay, well, no spoilers. In this moment, though, are you a Pam Fields stan?
No, but it is hard for me to say that.
Okay, so there's hope.
Yes.
Now, some of the things that Pam Fields is saying just remind me so much of our mother, but especially the part where she says, I just never understood why they let their kids, what did she say, act like adults or like do whatever they want. And all because Arya has like a few strands of pink hair.
Which, funnily enough that we're saying this about our mom did let us dye our hair with Kool-Aid. But
she did. She let me dye my hair with actual hair dye.
That's a shocking.
I had like a streak right behind my ear. And
that was real.
Yeah, and I would change the color like every month.
Oh.
And it cost me $10 whole to change the color. And
that is.
So anyway, you could say I was kind of edgy. Need to talk about Emily's response to this, which was
Emily's bitter.
Emily says something that I don't agree with.
She says,
if I were her mother, I would say, you know nothing.
If Pam were our mother.
I'm shocked Pam didn't say this.
Yes.
When Emily says, well, because they treat their kids like they're equals, not their property. Okay, number one, if I said that to my mother, I would be
never
like
see the light of day.
I'd be sleeping in the shed. Like I would be, actually, she'd probably be like, I will hang you from the ceiling fan by your toenails, which is like her favorite thing. Like, no, your kids are not your equals. I'm sorry. I don't agree with that. Children have no money. They have no money. They have toys.
But we do have to talk about how the scene ends with Emily and her mother. At this point, we don't know Emily's big secret.
I think I knew.
Really?
Is it not obvious by like the past 17 minutes of the show that she likes girls a little? Like,
I didn't think it was.
Really? Okay, first scene, Alison DiLaurentis says, maybe you're liking the new Beyonce video a little too much, Em. And Emily looks mortified.
Well, that's fair, but I don't know.
Fair.
Anyway, we aren't totally aware. The scene ends. Pam Fields says, letting your kids run around looking like a goth won't get you very far in Rosewood. And Emily responds, some of us don't dream of making it in Rosewood.
The melodrama, chef's kiss.
Some of us dream of making it out.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? 0 points. 0 points across the board for Emily Fields. Shay Mitchell trying to hide that she's a Canadian.
No, not at all. Yeah. 100%.
Does she have an accent coach? Like, I know it's
I think they were
pilot,
like, oh, close enough. And they were filming this in Vancouver. So I think that could have, maybe she was just around a lot of her people. I don't know.
I don't know. When you're hired to do a job, I think you do
She should have lived in Rosewood, PA for a minute.
Exactly. So anyway, let's get to the exciting part, which is Maya St. Germain,
AKA New Girl.
So what do we think of Maya off the bat?
She's a lot.
She's a lot.
And I do just the same treatment that we had for Pam of not knowing what we know now of Maya. Because I love Maya in the end. She's one of my favorite people for Emily. But in the beginning, she's just a little much.
Too much. She's too much. She comes out. She's wearing a vest. You know how I feel about all the fucking vests in this show. And she asks Emily if Emily will help her like bring the boxes in because she's moving into Allison's old house. She's like, is that outrageous for me to ask you? And Emily says yes. And I'm like waiting for the other shoe to drop. I'm waiting for Emily to say, I'm just kidding. But we find out Emily does not have a sense of humor. And she says, but I'll help you.
Yeah.
Do you know how I would feel if I was the recipient of that? If I was like, would you mind helping me?
But you're nothing like Maya, which is why I think they're perfect for each other. Because Maya's like not afraid of like, she's I think she's exactly what Emily needed at this point in her life.
I mean, she's much better than Ben, but we'll get to that.
The bar's on the floor.
The bar's on the floor. I hate him. Anyway.
So we go into Allie's.
Fully smoke pot in Allie's old room, which seems sacrilegious, but I love it. I'm here for it. Yes, girl. And I can't help but think Emily partakes. Maya's like, do you want to? Emily's like, yeah. I'm like, Emily, you just said you're a swimmer. I bet you get drug tested. What are you thinking? It's this, I'm thinking about the things no one else is thinking about. They should have had me in the writer's room.
Well, you would have been a Debbie Downer for sure.
I would have made it more realistic.
And we wouldn't have had a show for 7 seasons.
Okay, that harsh as fuck. I don't think we ever see her actually do it though, so.
Yeah. Loser.
That was a little too much for ABC Family, but sleeping with your teacher wasn't.
Fully.
Pedophiles were absolutely up for grabs, but do not show them smoking pot.
No, please.
So I'm troubled by something in this next scene with Spencer and Ren, and it's this. We must acknowledge that what Ren and Spencer are doing is not worse than what Mr. Fitz and Arya are doing.
I think that, yes, absolutely.
And it
it's treated differently.
Treated like it's different. It's not. Anyway, okay. Back to Melissa. She is
Jackie O.
She is
in their backyard.
Perfect older sister character.
The acting is perfect. She does it perfectly.
Absolutely.
But Melissa's the worst character ever.
Yeah, she sucks. But the one thing that's like not realistic about it is that she would be with someone like Ren when he comes out of the barn and meets Spencer in their backyard. He looks literally like he has the suds.
It's really unfortunate. I think you put it the best is that he looks like a little kid
who woke up with a cold. His nose is red. His hair is like all like fucked up. I think
bags under his eyes.
Yeah, they probably thought his shirt's like wrinkled. He looks awful. I mean, Melissa would never be okay with that, and that we should have known right then, right there.
It was not.
He and Melissa
not
weren't gonna last.
But he's a doctor, so everyone's thrilled.
Right, everyone's thrilled.
Except for Spencer in the scene. She completely ices Ren out. She's just found out that she does not get to stay in the barn that she spent the entire summer renovating.
Which absolutely justified.
I would be pissed.
I would kiss her boyfriend too.
Well, I don't know that I would do that.
Anything to get back at her. Anything.
I think that probably says a lot about our sister relationship right there. However, we do get Spencer Hastings. I'd say this is like the Spencer Hastings quote. It comes out throughout the show a few times, but this is the first.
Does she say it more than once?
Yes.
Wow. Okay, so we're setting a theme. We got a motif. Okay, so we're just going to do a quick role play right now. I'm going to play big sister. Obviously, you're going to play little sister. I am Melissa Hastings. You're Spencer Hastings. Here we go. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping you'd be happy for me.
Well, you know what they say about hope. It breeds eternal misery.
And scene. That exchange.
And I think it's also important to note that while Spencer says hope breeds eternal misery, she is looking
directly at Ren,
future husband, who she's supposed to spend eternity with, looking right at him.
Delivering a message from God.
Yeah.
Ren, if you marry this woman, you will be miserable for eternity. One other thing about that moment between them is that I don't understand why Melissa would even hope that Spencer would be happy for her after the last boyfriend, which we'll learn about. Dun, dun, dun. Ian. The worst of the worst. However, why the hell would Melissa think for a second, Spencer, why would they move into the barn in that like close proximity to Spencer, knowing the relationship, the volatile relationship Melissa and Spencer have, and Spencer's history with Melissa's boyfriends? It seems honestly like Melissa did this to herself.
That, but also, why would the parents be like, yeah, Spencer, you spent the entire summer working on this barn so you could live in it for your junior year, and we're not even going to tell you that Melissa's moving in.
But also, there's a really unequal sibling dynamic here, which is that Melissa is the favorite and the oldest, and Spencer is the youngest and not the favorite.
No, not at all.
So that's honestly not realistic. That's the least realistic part of this entire show, I would say. So fast forward a few hours, we're at dinner, and
Spencer's in the top that Hannah did pick out for her.
Yes.
She's brooding. She's reading To Kill a Mockingbird.
She's underlining every word with her fingers so she doesn't lose her spot.
She's 3 pages into the book.
She can't fucking read. Anyway, we see a mysterious hand just ashing a cigarette in.
So rude, by the way.
So rude. And you think no one's gonna find that when the maids go out to water
and you
those
don't
plants?
You don't even think to like you're 6 feet away from Spencer. You don't notice that she's there.
That's a really good point. You don't think she's gonna smell it. You don't see like it's his back turned towards her, and she's so engrossed in the book she won't even look up and see him.
It takes time to smoke a cigarette. It's like you've been standing there for a minute.
He's probably so stressed he's just sucking that shit down.
Fair enough. Anyway, so they start talking,
flirting. Spencer's crossed a line from the first goddamn second.
Yeah, she looks at him like she is ready to have his children.
Literally, she like looks up at him from her book, and she's got her sexy backless top, and she's like, you know, she's got her head down, but her eyes are up, and she's giving him the fuck me eyes. Let's just say it.
And they're talking, and she goes, "You're not like Melissa's other boyfriends." He goes, "How am I different?"
How am I different?
And she goes, "We're late for dinner."
And then she goes, I actually like you.
It's that's like, how you're different.
Spencer, that's not different from the last boyfriend.
You actually always like Melissa's boyfriend.
Yeah, you like them a little too much, Spence.
Yeah.
In the words of Allie.
Maybe Allie should have been, I guess we'll get to the Allie moment with this. But
we'll get there. In fact, let's get there. I'm so excited to break this next scene down.
Aria starting through the halls of Rosewood High.
Knobby knees. Waif of a girl. She's tiny.
We assume that this is early in the morning before school, but I'm not convinced. It looks like after school.
I know. No, it's definitely in the morning before school because Again, we were just at a dinner scene, the scene before.
But that's why I've always been confused.
I just explained it to you.
Okay.
Oh my God. Okay.
Anyway, so they're talking.
No, I need to talk about something.
All right. The board.
What is written on the board? Okay, so here's what's written on the board. We know they're reading To Kill a Mockingbird. The board says Atticus. Voice of reason, ? Underneath it says Scout. Moral or amoral? This is not an accident, people.
Yes, thank you, English major. I appreciate it. I guess.
Do you want me to break it down since I'm the English major?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we could go two ways here. Number one, he has Atticus. Atticus is obviously representing Mr. Fitz. He is older. He is wiser. We know this.
I also think he probably identifies. He probably like reads To Kill a Mockingbird every year, and he's like,
yeah,
I love like. People ask him what his favorite book character is, and he's probably like, Atticus Finch.
Yes, exactly. And he's like, I see myself as a father figure to my students, and I just have so much wisdom, and I'm going to change the world. Yeah, whatever. You are going to change the world. Maybe not in a good way. So here's my take on this. And we have a few different ways this could go. Number one, he is Atticus, and he's asking, I'm supposed to be the voice of reason. Am I supposed to be the voice of reason? Am I being the voice of reason? Then Scout is obviously Arya. Now, this is also very problematic because in the book, Scout is Atticus's daughter.
Literally.
And there's no other way to interpret this than that Scout must be Arya. And it says moral or amoral. And so I think what is happening is he's saying, is it moral? Is our relationship moral? Is she moral? Or is this amoral? He's trying to figure that out. Mm-hmm. This is one time he can't be the voice of reason because he is so his head and his heart. And that is the end of my dissertation on the blackboard and Pretty Little Liars.
Great. And so Ezra's talking to Arya, and he's like, you told me you went to Hollis. She's like, no, I didn't.
And she didn't.
I still think she was a bit of a liar in that bar. She wasn't fully honest, which
I don't
to
think
me
we can
is
call
lying.
her okay, well.
But Ezra's like, we can't do this. Things have changed. Arya's like, nothing changed.
Nothing's changed.
Literally everything has. You are one of his students.
Yes. The day you made out, it was illegal because you're a minor, but you weren't his student.
Yes. So Ezra's trying to like, his words are saying that he's against it. His body language,
not so much.
He's outstretching his hand. He's like,
he's reaching.
Yes,
for
he's
her.
like, please. And Arya takes advantage of it. She holds his hand.
And the bell rings.
She's got to go.
Oh, the bell doesn't ring.
It doesn't, but maybe it did.
And the bell for him, right? His internal bell rang. He said, I got to get up and go.
So yes, this is where we're at with Ezra and Arya. What will happen? Arya seems like she's willing to fight.
Arya is willing to fight because she's 16 and she doesn't know any better. And right now he's fighting for his job.
And Arya was 16 and didn't know any better. So was the fan base. So we were also ready to fight for Mr. Fitz.
We were ready to fight. We were like, this is hot. No one had read fanfic yet. They're like, this is hot.
People were like, we need the fanfic.
People started writing the fanfic.
Oh,
I'm
absolutely.
sure. Actually,
after
we
that
should find
scene.
some.
Oh, we should read some for sure.
Reading. Okay.
So funny.
That's my homework. So this is Phoebe's favorite scene of Pretty Little Liars. Would you like to do the honors of kicking it off?
This is the most awkward, 45 seconds of television I've ever watched. It's Maya and Emily walking down the street.
Arms touching.
Literally,
grazing against each other.
It can't not be uncomfortable for them.
No, it's like that. It's like that good uncomfortable. They're like that sexual tension for sure.
They're walking. Emily sees these construction men.
She stopped in her tracks.
Literally chucking Alison DiLaurentis' things into this dumpster.
Fuck this dead girl.
Well, she's probably mean to them, honestly. She probably heckled them on other projects.
She has no idea who they are. They've never met.
Well, I mean, that's fair.
I know.
But she terrorized the entire neighborhood. And everyone knows she's missing. Everyone knows that's her house. They're probably like, fuck that girl.
Maya doesn't know. Maya does know. Emily stops dead in her tracks. She sees this gaggle of construction workers absolutely chucking Allie's belongings
into an empty dumpster.
Yesterday, so why were they out there so long? Hard to believe nobody took them.
Like maybe her friends.
A could have used them somehow.
Come on, girl.
Wow, what a missed opportunity. Anyway, Emily basically confesses, I haven't told you everything about that girl. She's missing. Maya sees this as her golden opportunity to get in there. And in a very awkward way to me.
So they're standing about 3 inches away from each other. And Maya goes, that must have been so hard for you.
and kisses her. But
it's not a kiss. Let's be clear.
No, it's a kiss.
I've never considered that a kiss.
They kiss.
No. It's like
they kiss.
Should we rewatch it?
Okay, so it's not a kiss. It's a very intimate cheek brush with the lips moment that absolutely rocks Emily's world.
Emily walks home smiling the entire way.
Not
for
smiling,
sure.
Smirking. And with her eyes, she's like, does this like eye flicker thing? I couldn't do it if I tried.
No, it's
like
very
another
Shay
Mitchell trademark.
So she's stoked. She is riding a high.
She does not seem unhappy about it.
And she doesn't seem like you would assume, because how she acts at the party later. This is in public in front of construction workers, and she's not like, oh my God, why would you do that? Like,
no, she's like super, super, super into the kiss. She's pumped about it. She's like giving her flirty eyes, her smirk.
For sure.
Maya's the one who walks away.
Yeah, Maya's like, oh man, she's a boyfriend. Emily hasn't thought of Ben for weeks.
I think Maya feels uncomfortable.
So Emily showers after practice, walks to the locker room, and we get our second A message. And it says,
it's a handwritten note.
She is our only liar that does not get a text message.
So does that mean that A was in close proximity? Does it mean she was in the locker room, or
maybe Spencer's real close by?
Spencer, I think they might be trying to set us up to see it as Spencer in this moment.
Maybe.
So would you like to read the note?
The note. I've been replaced. You found another friend to kiss. A.
Which again could only be Allie. We're just repeated, like it's drilling it into us that this must be Allison, that she must not be dead.
And something that is also interesting to me in terms of just, again, like the logistics of this show is you now have a handwriting sample from A.
Absolutely. But they can't tell anybody about it. So like she couldn't bring this to
Emily
anybody.
could. Listen, I understand. But she could.
No, she couldn't. They say it. They're like, I can't go to anybody about this, because if she did, people would know she and Allie kissed. People would know she kissed Maya.
That's fair.
She can't let anybody know. She has a boyfriend, number one. You'd need to let him know. Second of all, she's got this rep to protect. She's not ready to come out.
Fair enough.
So she could not tell anybody. Arya could not tell anybody. That's what makes it so powerful, is that she's literally using things that she knows.
It's so powerful.
They would never fucking rat on her. They never would.
Or them. Or he. We don't know who A is.
Right. We're forgetting Phoebe's seen the whole show, so she just told us it's probably not a she.
Anyway.
This scene makes me want to die. It is arguably the most like sexual scene I've probably seen in this show.
That's a big comment to make.
I don't know if it is.
It's just, but maybe one of the most uncomfortable sexual scenes. It's just so like...
It's overtly sexual.
It's horrible is what it is.
Spencer is in a plaid string bikini, okay? Hair up, towel over her shoulder. Ren walks in.
Wet.
And he asks her if she had a tough day at school.
So he knows she's in school.
Yeah, he's not confused.
No.
He's a doctor. He's going to be a doctor. He's not confused. He's not stupid.
Right.
He's acknowledging the fact that she is in high school. She says, field hockey practice. And he offers, naturally,
a massage.
To give her a massage while they are both basically naked.
It's disgusting.
He's like breathing on her neck.
And Spencer could not be more into it.
Spencer's like, that feels awesome. Which is the least sexy thing you could say.
She is breathing so hard. Like, and then, I don't think she's had this type of attention from a man.
Since Ian.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then hark the herald angels sing. Ren? It's her, the she-devil, Melissa.
She walks in there in this jacket.
She's got first lady energy.
Starched.
I mean, every single piece of clothing in the Hastings home is starched. We have been over that.
And she has groceries. And
she knows a woman's place is in the home.
Exactly. Spencer leaves, gets out of there real quick. Ren is left wanting more.
And
then
picks up the sparkling water because he knows he can't leave this here.
Right.
Melissa will know Spencer was here.
So Melissa goes in for a kiss and Ren
dodges.
He does, but then
he dodges in a way that makes me wonder if that was actually blocked, though, I have to say, because she like goes in to kiss him and he's like looking down and he's like, oh shit. And goes to kiss her. It's so natural looking. And she like does this big smile that's
and he's not that good of an actor.
Yeah, but I think she does the smile that's very actory. That's like, after the kiss. And I'm like, I think maybe that miss wasn't supposed to happen, but adds so much. It only makes sense to begin this section with a shout out to our set and props team.
Yes.
So Spencer is 16 years old with a Victorian style bedroom. I mean, these like thick, like
red
rich
sheets,
burgundy and gold curtains and sheets and like
dark wood,
dark
cherry
wood
bed.
Everything in her, every piece of furniture in that furniture set is like a dark cherry wood. It's like as if she is working in her mother's room.
Or lives in a haunted house.
Actually, yes. And when they got the spooky music and like at the end of the scene when she's going to the window, I'm like, of course you're fucking scared. You literally live in a haunted house.
Absolutely. And it's the Hastings house. So that's scary enough.
So it's already, yeah.
Spencer is, reading To Kill a Mockingbird like a good student. And
it's taking her a long time to read this book.
Yeah,
honestly.
she's about 4 pages in now.
Yeah, she's not into it.
Laying on her bed, white collar shirt, vest, and a tie.
The only thing that tells us she's relaxing is that she is not wearing shoes, just her socks. And that's probably because she's on the bed. No shoes in the bed.
So
I'm shocked she let to have outside clothes in the bed. I mean, I don't know if Mrs. Hastings knows about it. Anyway, she hears laughter, raucous laughter. She goes to the window. What does she see?
Well, honestly, probably nothing from her window. We see her window, and it is caked with dirt and dust. You can't see a thing out of that window.
Y'all did not have Windex on set?
They were probably so focused on ironing her sheets.
That's true. The dry cleaning.
Literally.
I mean, because those sheets are not washer dryer friendly. Let me tell you that. They're probably 50 pounds. It's like a weighted blanket before there were weighted blankets. I mean it.
So Spencer walks to the window and she is just watching her older sister make out with her boyfriend.
And she's steaming and we have to wonder why.
Yes. And Caroline brought up a good point. Is it jealousy for Ren or is that jealousy fueled by just her pure hatred?
I think it has to be hatred for Melissa. It's like, I'm so mad at you. You're standing on the threshold of the barn I spent all summer working on. You're with this guy.
I'd be
You're
pissed.
Such a bitch.
I wouldn't have talked to you for a couple weeks probably.
I would
if you did that to me.
I'd be looking for a way to get back at you.
I would have just not talked to you.
Well, that's what
the
Spencer's
difference
doing.
between you and me.
That's what's I think I'm a perfect blend of the Hastings sisters.
I think you're right.
I'm not ashamed.
Okay. So Spencer's, looking. And then she gets an email. Spencer's preferred way of communicating.
Absolutely.
And
how many times a day do you think Spencer uses the word privy? Upwards of 12.
Yeah, probably. She definitely started studying for the SAT vocab section in 6th grade.
Like when she had braces.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Spencer gets her first A message and it says, "Poor Spencer always wants Melissa's boyfriends. But remember, if you kiss, I tell."
So the audience now at this moment, we're like, what do you mean she always wants Melissa's boyfriends? Well, don't worry. We get a flashback. And this flashback
is iconic.
It's savage. And you have to kind of come back to it as you keep watching the show and finding out more things.
Yes. So
it makes a lot more sense.
Enter Spencer's pilot kitchen. The Hastings kitchen changes, thank God, because this is the ugliest kitchen I've ever seen in my entire life. So does
Spencer's bedroom.
Yeah, I think they get an entire new Hastings castle.
As they should.
And so it's Allison, Hannah, Spencer in the kitchen. Of course, it's hefty Hannah, so she couldn't possibly
fresh baked pan of cookies.
And I think it's important to note that Allie and Spencer in bathing suits, Hannah in a sweatshirt.
Hannah has absolutely tiny arms. We know she's not hefty. I mean, I have to say it. She reaches for a cookie. Allison, I want to use a really bad word. She literally looks at her. She goes, "Are you really going to eat that, sweetie?" Sweetie.
I'm being a friend.
That's the difference between me and Hannah, okay? You might think they were more similar, but that's the difference. I would have beat her upside the fucking head.
No. You're not that Hannah.
Thank you.
Thank you
for saying I'm
You're
not.
Hannah Marin post Allie dying.
Huh. Okay. So as this is happening, we're thankfully distracted from that horrible, awkward moment by Melissa and her ex-boyfriend, Ian.
Right.
Who is Satan himself. He's a nightmare dressed like a daydream.
Not even, especially this pilot version. Melissa and Ian walk into the kitchen holding hands, and they all say hi. Ian says, "You working on your stance or something?" I don't play sports, but something for field hockey. And Melissa goes, "You're not her babysitter." And Allie,
and he's like, "Oh, I know.
Oh, yeah, we're more than that, Melissa.
I don't want to be a babysitter."
And Allie looks at everybody in the room and shoots daggers, and then looks right at Spencer and says, "Oh, you need to tell your sister."
Oh, yeah. She says, oh my God, if my friend did this.
We wouldn't be friends.
I mean, yeah, she'd be fucking dead. No wonder this girl is dead.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll say it. You need to tell your sister. And Spencer, like, literally, like, I swear, almost lunges across the table and stabs her in the head.
And Melissa goes, "What do you need to tell me?" Like, so bitchy.
Excellent line reading.
Oh, thank you so much.
Spencer looks at Allie and says, "Outside."
The way Allie walks outside of the door is incredible. Like, she is like a kid in trouble.
She is a fucking kid. She's 13 in this episode. In real life, she's like literally 10 years younger. I can't get over it.
But you did notice
Hannah Marin, possibly the only moment of comedy in the entire series. Hannah Marin is perfectly framed in the sliding glass door behind this intense conversation between Spencer and Allie. And to lighten the mood, what does Hannah begin doing? She starts eating that goddamn cookie. Good for you, Hannah.
Absolutely.
She's literally like the meme of like someone standing there like eating something, like watching a fight, like eating popcorn, like watching a fight. Like
but this scene is very important for a lot of reasons because it's the first time we hear about the Jenna thing.
Absolutely. Wow. And I have to say, they could not have thought of a better name than the Jenna thing. Let me tell you, okay, if I knew a girl named Jenna who like mysteriously went blind one summer, sorry, spoilers, mysteriously went blind one summer, and then I heard 4 girls who have a dead friend saying, "The Jenna thing, we can't talk about the Jenna thing," I would be like, they're the reason she's blind. I would put the fucking pieces together. Would you not?
Oh, well, I don't know if I would, but other people would.
I sure would.
Another reason the scene is very important is because it starts to play into the Allie Spencer dynamic, which is the most unique probably of the 4 because they're very similar.
The power struggle.
Yes. And some things that we find out later in the series that makes them closer than you could ever imagine.
I do know about this.
Yes. And I think Allie knew. That's where we're at. We hear about the Jenna thing. Allie and Spencer talking about how Spencer likes to make out with Melissa's boyfriends.
Good for her.
Okay. I don't know if you as his older sister would have that same demeanor.
I'm not really worried that you and Anthony are going to start making out.
We wouldn't.
And neither of you are sneaky enough to pull it off.
That is very true. Yet another uncomfortable scene. Not uncomfortable, just awkward scene with Emily and Aria is in it. But Emily, I think, is the common denominator in these awkward
Emily is awkward
scenes.
in every single scene she's in.
Which I guess checks out because she has something to hide. She's constantly probably...
Oh, you're right. She is the only one with something to
hide. No, but I mean, she's probably like on guard all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think they all are. Maybe not Hannah. Maybe not Spencer. Okay, Aria and Emily. Maybe that's why they gravitate towards each other.
Maybe, but Aria was like Aria has no room to be a bitch to anybody, but she was rude to Emily the first time they met. And now they're like back on Aria's porch and Aria's trying to play the nice guy. And she's like, you can
come here anytime.
But you know we all fell out with each other.
Yeah, but don't forget that we're not friends.
We're not friends anymore. Anyway, so Emily is kind of trying to figure out if maybe any of the other girls are starting to get messages from this A person. And immediately Aria is like, yes.
But what's so tough is that they can't be like, okay, let's compare. Like, that sucks.
Right.
Because I would be like, wait, show me yours. I'm going to show you mine. Yeah. And let's try to like figure out who's doing this. But they can't do it.
And for Aria especially, because it's not just bringing her and Ezra down. It's her dad and her and that situation.
It's a lot. It's a heavy weight to bear.
And so they're kind of like, Emily says, should we tell someone? And Aria goes, I don't know about you, but I can't.
Which is what I was saying earlier. They can't.
Exactly.
And A knows that. Okay, so I have to say this pilot is honestly one of the best first episodes of a TV show I've seen in terms of like the storytelling, because it really gives us like each of these girls has like the spotlight on them for a little bit. We really learn a lot about them. We, sympathize with them, but we also see like their flaws. and we see how they're all intertwined, and it's just a really, really strong pilot. And I think like I really realize it in this scene with Hannah because they don't like try to like ration out the drama. You know what I mean? Like they give
you just
every
enough
single season.
And they don't tell us the entire story about Hannah's dad leaving.
No, they're giving enough. It to us like in crumbs, but they're not saying like, oh, we've done enough in this episode. So like we don't need to do anything else dramatic. We'll save the Hannah stuff for the next episode. They're like, no, we're going to do it all here. But each of these girls has a story that we're going to like slowly
There's
unravel.
so much more under the surface that we can expand on later.
Yeah, which I just think is great. But so in this scene, we get this glimpse at Hannah's home life. And I also think this scene's really good because we see a lot of like subtext. Like they're not talking about what's happening, but it's very like telling. So first, they've ordered takeout chicken Caesar salads.
Yes.
A goat move.
We see Hannah's mom. This is the first we're seeing of Hannah's mom.
Hate the bangs.
Hate the bangs, love the woman. And she is taking like half of the salad out of...
And she's putting the salad onto a plate. She's moving the salad from the box to a plate. But she's not taking the whole salad. And it's a salad, so it's like
at first
already,
I was like, oh, that's weird.
They're not taking the whole salad because they're always dieting. They're very, very into their appearance, their weight.
And then we see Hannah at the dinner table as they're talking, picking the croutons out of her salad and moving them to the side so she doesn't have to eat them.
But nothing is ever said about either of these two things, which I think is what makes it like so great. It's like these little things. If you're not really watching for it, you might miss it, but it tells you a lot about like their relationship and like their relationship like with food.
And at this point, we don't know that Hannah's called Hefty Hannah at this point, but we've seen
that she's definitely lost weight. She was not the it girl before.
Exactly. And we see that Allie makes slight comments, but we don't know the full story yet until we get our A message.
Well, and we do have Aria has that moment where she's like, that's Hannah?
Oh, right.
In like a very offensive way.
So they're eating dinner. Spencer texts Hannah, all caps, signed text, which Caroline says isn't weird, but I do think it's bizarre.
No, it's weird, but we have to remember that these girls have grown apart. Like they haven't spoken in like a year. Hannah probably got a new phone because she's being cooler now.
Right.
So like she genuinely might not have had Spencer's phone number.
Anyway, whatever. I think it's weird. There's a knock on the door. Ashley Marin gets a phone call, so Hannah has to go answer it. It's who else than Darren Wilden, our cop.
And an unnamed police officer.
Darren Wilden, the worst ever, probably. I hate him so much.
But he's got that like kind of hot bad boy vibe. That's common with cops, I would say. Like in television shows, they're always like the bad boy, which I don't think that's real. Because if that was real, they'd be more likable. I love a bad boy.
Wilden opens the door and he says to Ashley, who comes up to the door behind Hannah. No, but he says that.
Well, first he asks Hannah, are you Hannah Marin?
Oh, right.
Which I honestly, we need to look up the protocol, but I don't think.
Oh, absolutely not.
He's really allowed to ask that. And then Ashley Marin
comes up from behind her, says, what's going on? Wilden says, we have your daughter for theft. She stole a pair of sunglasses in the mall. And he immediately basically handcuffs her. Like,
he literally is, her mom was like, yeah, this has to be a mistake. And he's like, no,
I don't
it
think
ain't.
So.
And he has Hannah turn around and handcuffs her. And I just absolutely don't think what they should have done is like meet us at the station or like, do you want to come with us in the car?
Can we ask you a few questions?
Yeah, like she's a minor. Innocent until proven guilty, bitch. Yeah. They handcuff the minor.
Exactly. So they take her to the station. She's sitting in a chair. You see that Ashley and Wilden are talking. Wilden shuts the door. Hannah goes to pick up a handful of candy, gets a text, drops every piece of candy back into the bowl, which is
as if she's living this carefree life, never knowing of any pandemic. Lucky bitch.
It's so vile that she did that regardless of the pandemic. Anyway, she gets a text. It is also, of course, an A text. And what does A have to say to Hannah?
Probably the one that makes me want to cry the most out of all of these.
Well, in this episode, but there is one that A does to Hannah that, like, actually, I can't even watch it.
But I think also there's a big difference between the text that A is sending to the other girls, because the text that A is sending to the other girls, this is about something that you did. Like,
this is about how Hannah looked.
Well, it is about, you know, she's going to prison because she did something bad, but it's mostly about like your biggest secret, your biggest problem is that you're like a former fat kid.
Right. So Hannah's text says, be careful, Hannah. I hear prison food makes you fat. A, which is so mean. It makes Hannah feel so bad. But she doesn't have very much time to feel bad about it because immediately every cop in Rosewood starts running out of the precinct.
It's time to go.
Followed by her mother, who rushes Hannah out, and they're sitting in the car.
And she says, you know, like any mother, like
she pulls a Pam Fields.
So, you know, she asks Hannah, like, is this because of your dad? Is this a cry for help? And Hannah's like, I made a mistake. But we were watching this and we brought up, like, I think an important point. Like, no kid knows they're crying for help when they're crying for help. So, like, why even ask Hannah that? Although, obviously,
it's clear that that's
she
why
is
she's
looking
doing
for
it.
attention.
But, so yeah, they are.
Her mom's like, I buy you everything you need to be popular. And in that moment, I thought of our own mother who tries her best.
Absolutely.
And it's more than enough, Mom, if you're listening.
We also thought about our dad and how he would have reacted had we been in this situation, because Ashley says, you will deny anything ever happened. And my first thought was, if this was one of us, our father would have paraded us around our hometown in an orange jumpsuit.
With a megaphone, like yelling out like exactly what we did.
They stole sunglasses.
Yeah. Our mom literally, like, she wouldn't be my first phone call if I was arrested.
Oh my God, absolutely not.
I'd have to get out of jail before I could really like think about how I was gonna.
Because even just car accidents, like, I'm like, literally, who else could I call?
Phoebe said 4.
3, thanks.
Oh, just 3.
Just 3
She's
minor.
Been driving for like not even 5 years. Well, we find out where all those damn cops were headed.
They were headed to, well, now the St. Germain household, yes, but at one point.
Former DiLaurentis home.
Yes, and how is this scene started? With my favorite song in the whole series.
Oh, it just takes a minute for my world to come crumbling down.
Yeah, Emily's theme song. Obviously not what we want her theme song to be, but
it's iconic.
It really is. I definitely think that made its way onto one of my playlists.
Oh, absolutely. But I do have to say that I think, okay, and this is controversial.
Oh, boy.
But I do think they could have switched the song for the funeral scene, this song, and that song, and it actually might have even worked better.
No, the funeral scene is, no, I completely disagree.
Okay, but think about
maybe
the scene at the house with that song.
I do agree, but the funeral scene would not have worked with the other one. And I do also wonder if, I mean, I doubt it, but maybe they knew they were going to use that song for another death that happens later.
Yeah, probably. Emily's theme.
Which is so sad.
It's so sad.
But so all the girls are starting to arrive and they see.
Along with the entirety of Rosewood.
The whole town is just.
There's no shame in how bad they want to know what's going on.
And Emily has no regard for the fact that people are like respecting boundaries of the law enforcement. Emily barrels right through and finds Maya, and Maya says, "They found your friend." And Emily goes, "Oh my God, I knew she'd be back."
Is she inside? Bitch, this isn't her house anymore. Even if she was alive, she wouldn't be in there.
Also, like, look around you for a sec.
Yeah, probably everyone's here to see her. Well,
I mean, honestly, that probably
would have been there.
She probably would have been
like
egged if she walked out of the St. Germain house.
I mean, because she'd been missing for a year.
That's what I mean. I don't
think she'd be egged. I think everyone would be like, "Oh my God, we're so glad you're alive."
I don't think a lot of Rosewood felt that way.
I think everyone loves a crime. They would come together for that.
Fair enough. Anyway, then we see Hannah arrive. We see Arya arrive. We don't see Spencer arrive, but we do see Spencer.
We see Spencer shrouded in darkness, a single beam of white light coming down the center of her face all the way down to her toes.
The only way we know it's Spencer is because of the collar of her shirt.
It's jarring. It's shocking.
She's standing. She looks very much like a kid at their parents' doorway, like having to tell them that they threw up. Like, that is what she looks like.
She also looks like someone capable of murder. Let's just say it.
Absolutely. So Arya goes.
She's like, I don't need to come any closer. I know what's happening. I know what they found. Under the gazebo? Thought so.
So Arya goes up and sees her, immediately throws Hannah under the bus and says, "Heard they took Hannah to the police station today."
You don't think she told her about the Jenna thing?
Enter Hannah Marin. She said, "We made a promise. So fucked up. You blinded a girl."
But this is clearly what comes back and is going to bring them all back together. It is what drove them apart and brings them back together is the death and the closure of Alison DiLaurentis, but also the secrets aren't over. You know, they're not just worried about what someone could think about the disappearance of Allie. They have to worry about the Jenna thing.
Right. So all this happens. We see the body bag.
But we have a funeral to get to.
We really do. And it's one of the most amazing Pretty Little Liar moments in all 7 seasons, probably.
Honestly, a really impressive ending for a pilot. So we get to the best scene of the whole pilot and probably one of the best like final scenes of any pilot I've seen.
It's also one of my favorite just Pretty Little Liars scenes. I could watch it over and over and over again. It's like
perfectly timed with the different characters and the music and like the text. Like everything is just, it like literally runs like a well-oiled machine, I would say.
They really put like all of their best cinematography, directorial experience into this like one section of the show.
And I feel like the stakes are so high for a pilot, like especially for the last scene, because if people don't like it, if people don't like want to know what happens next, the show does not continue. So like I think that they just like nailed it, honestly. And so it starts, you know, they're all walking in. Aria's standing like in the stairwell, looking out the window, and
a stained glass window,
which I don't believe she can see out of, but nevertheless she's watching everyone, or pretending she's watching everyone come in, and Mr. Fitz approaches her.
For some reason, Mr. Fitz is at this funeral.
Does not know Alison.
Just started teaching at Rosewood.
And to be quite honest, not sure if he even stays for the funeral. It kind of is like he like goes because he knows Aria's gonna be there.
Yeah.
And then he's like pissed she walks away, and then
yeah,
we don't
that's
see
a good.
him again.
I wonder if that is why he went.
We should ask him.
Oh.
Anyway, so he asks her if she knew her well and apologizes for, you know, staying away from her and for being a jerk, and about Alison and Aria being so mature and just, you know, what she's an old soul. She would call herself an old
for
soul.
Sure. I'm just not like other girls.
No, again, pick me through and through. And so she gives him this like dramatic kiss on the cheek, and she starts to walk away, and then.
But also like walking away just slow enough. Like she's also, like kind of like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. And if you pay attention to like the direction that she's walking, she's like going to walk straight into the wall. Like she's not about to go down the steps. She's like, I have been instructed by the director to start walking away, but don't get far enough that he can't grab you.
And then Ian Harding goes in for the grab.
I know.
He like grabs
like,
her arm. You can like
her.
see his hand like squeeze around her arm.
Literally, he yanks her like a rag doll, which she's about the size of a rag doll.
Literally, so. But let me tell you, the audience was reached with this scene.
Ate it up. They make out.
They pace their kissing so well.
Yeah.
That it is like so believable.
Lots of starts and stuff. So
yes.
It also isn't believable because she's 16.
Well, that's fair. But like to 11-year-old Phoebe again, who thought that this was 16, I was like, oh my gosh.
I just feel like a 16-year-old doesn't kiss like a 23-year-old that way. You know what I mean? Like, they shouldn't be kissing the same way.
They shouldn't be kissing, period.
They shouldn't. That's the main thing, I guess, is that they shouldn't be kissing at all. But Aria is the one, ultimately. Again, we go back to that scout. Moral or amoral.
Mm-hmm.
Why is she more the voice of reason than he is, like, half the time? Honestly, he's, like, fucking with her a lot. And she's the one who like first breaks away from that kiss.
His mouth is agape at the top of the stairwell.
Absolutely.
Also, let's talk about where this kiss is happening. Fully on a stairwell.
That's where
that like every single parent at that funeral had to have been looking up watching that happen.
And I think I've mentioned this before, but every single one of these girls like has zero shame in the things they're doing. So like Hannah is fully just like walking out of the mall with the Gucci sunglasses, like literally like, smirking at the security guards. Mm-hmm. Spencer's kissing her sister's boyfriend in her bedroom with the door open. Aria's now kissing her teacher at the funeral where everybody in Rosewood
public place in Rosewood.
Literally, like everyone is walking, and it's like, you know, those steps are like in the entrance of the church, and so everyone's walking through there.
The most well-attended funeral probably ever.
Probably, it's like every single person in Rosewood is there, whether they knew her or not.
And it's like, these are their massive secrets, and it makes them so anxious whenever they get a text about it. And it's like, girl,
that's a good point. Like, why are you like
I know,
of course everybody knows.
I'm like, okay, so just go to the police. You're not doing a great job keeping half of this stuff secret.
A could literally be anyone at this point because you are so fucking
it's probably
bad
all of Rosewood. Like, you guys are stupid.
They're like, let's team up because I need these girls so much. Anyway, so she walks down the steps. Mr. Fitz is astounded that she would do such a thing.
Right.
And it drives him freaking crazy.
Yeah.
So Aria walks into the funeral. She's greeted by Mrs. DiLaurentis, who's like, I want you girls to sit in the front. And they all go sit in the front together as if there's no awkwardness really between them.
Hannah grabs Aria's hand, which I always think is interesting because Hannah could not have been meaner to Aria.
I know, like that's what I'm saying. Like none of them are like, there's awkwardness throughout the whole show until we get to like this point and they're like suddenly.
And it's not just like pleasantries. It's like they're actually like
holding
it
her
seems
hand.
normal.
Hannah, again, back to the like being so like recklessly bold. Hannah pulls a fucking flask from her purse and in the front row of the church and like not trying to hide it from anyone. She hands it to Emily. Like, I don't know why she skipped Aria or Spencer, but she hands
Emily
it to
looked
Emily.
particularly solemn.
Yeah, well, so she hands it to Emily, and Emily's like, "No, thanks, I don't." Bitch, you don't what? You don't drink?
You smoke
pot
weed?
with Maya? I don't believe you for a goddamn second. You're not going to go to that party
And neither,
in Noel Khan's house
neither
next week?
does Hannah, because Hannah says, today you do.
Today, I think you do. And that is what we call peer pressure.
So Mrs. DiLaurentis comes and sits down next to the girls and is immediately ready to gossip. Very Alison DiLaurentis. She sits down and she says, did you see Jenna Marshall's here?
Yes, Jenna Marshall from the Jenna thing.
Yes, the blind girl.
Entered the chat, has entered the church.
Absolutely. With Toby on her arm.
And she's causing a scene. It's the first time we see her, right? Since we've heard about the Jenna thing.
The entire church is like a buzz, which is ridiculous because she is blind, not deaf. She can hear all of you talking about her.
But also, like, I feel like they probably haven't seen her. Like, she's come out, like, she was blinded, like, within basically the last year, like a year ago.
Yeah.
And now this might be the first time that they're really seeing
right,
her.
she went away. She went to Philly.
So Mrs. DiLaurentis is like automatically like, who fucking invited this bitch?
Were they even friends? And Spencer goes,
no.
no, they weren't, Mrs. DiLaurentis. Do you want me to go kick her out?
Yeah, Spencer's like, I have no problem asking her to leave. I actually have I am a lawyer and I have no problem
This is actually so disrespectful.
This is a closed
I'm
event.
going to ask her to show me her invitation.
Mr. Fitz and Officer Wilden, you guys stay but Jenna and knock off Toby. And then of course, we can't forget Aria gets a text and everyone in the pew shudders.
They're pissed. No, but everybody in the church is pissed that her phone is on.
Every single actor, these extras were told exactly what to fucking do and they understood the assignment. But it's just a text from Aria's mom. But it's enough to trigger everyone so that they're like, so should we talk about the elephant in the room? And they realize they're all getting these texts from A.
Yes. So the funeral ends and like Spencer and Hannah said, it was a scene that Allie would have loved. She would have popular in life and death.
And I love that. And I kind of want that on my tombstone. Popular in life and death.
Noted.
Yeah, take notes for my funeral. But I want a pink casket. None of that bullshit. And I want them to carry me. Well, okay, wait. Okay, this is also important to note. That casket is in the church before the funeral starts, which is not typical of a funeral. Typically, that casket is carried down the aisle by like their loved ones. And so it makes me wonder... I have a theory that maybe there's no one in that casket and that's why they couldn't have anyone carry it down because the people would have been like, why is this so light? Like, she's not in here.
I do agree that maybe there's not anybody in there, but I'm not entirely convinced it's like anything sinister. I think it's more that they need her body for like autopsy stuff.
With that because that's true. They just found the body. So, but it's just interesting. You know, I want to be absolutely carried down. So if you have to wait, you wait.
Okay.
If you have to wait for the autopsy to be done, because I know I'll die mysteriously. If you have to wait, that's okay.
Okay, cool.
And so the funeral ends. They're all walking out. Phoebe thinks they all look incredibly suspicious.
They look a little bit nervous, on edge. They're like walking 2 by 2 and like linked arms. And something interesting, we have our ballet flats in the front, heels in the back.
No. We have our ballet flats in the back where they belong.
Oh,
and
heels
the heels
in the front.
Yeah.
Do we think that was a wardrobe decision because Spencer and Emily are
absolutely
taller?
It's about their heights, yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
But it's really unfortunate for them.
They're the two that I would most believe would wear the flats.
Yeah, that's also
But
true.
also they are significant. Like, I mean, Lucy Hale is
Lucy
like 3
was
feet
like 3
feet. She's literally like an elf, so she absolutely
a pretty
must be
elf.
in heels. She's so pretty. She's like striking.
But she is.
Sure, pick her up.
Yeah. Anyway, so they're walking out and
I don't think they look suspicious. I think they just look emotionally exhausted, which would make perfect sense.
That's true. I don't know. They look a little sus to me, and I think Wilden feels the same way.
He sure do.
The 4 of them walk to the corner. They're ready to go mourn, and Wilden approaches them, and they're talking, and he informs them that this is no longer a missing person investigation. It is a murder.
A murder investigation. He's going to have to interrogate each of them one by one, make sure their stories match, which would scare the absolute shit out of me. But they know he's going to do it. They have time to prepare.
And they have prepared.
And
we will see that in the next episode. But one of the best moments, I think, of this scene is when the music stops.
Yes, he says his line.
And he
it's
says,
a murder.
I'm gonna
find out what happened that summer.
And rest assured, I will find out what happened that summer. And then the music starts again, and Emily has this look on her face, and the way that they have the girls standing with the camera work.
Yeah, Emily's just like slightly in front.
She's just like
na 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 na. Oh my god,
it's perfect.
It's like the beat drops before EDM.
Exactly. So the camera goes back over and follows Wilden as he's walking away, leans up against a tree. As soon as he does that, Toby and Jenna walk out of the church, get into the car. It's incredible. Then we come back to the girls. They're now in a semicircle. All of their phones ring.
I have to say, I don't know why the fuck they didn't just get out of there. Like, Wilden says this. I would have been like, okay, let's go get lunch right now so we can talk about what the fuck we're going to do.
That would have looked
in the corner.
Well, I think if they had stayed, it maybe looked like they were waiting for their parents. If they had just left as soon as that conversation was over, it would have looked like exactly that.
But then he wouldn't have seen them all receive a text at the very same time and look extremely guilty because they're all like looking over their shoulders shit after that. So like, I think honestly it would have been less incriminating if they just got the hell out of there.
Well, I'm sure they weren't, at this point, they weren't anticipating the A texts.
Well, I don't fucking know why not. If I was getting texts from A, I would be on my toes at all times. I wouldn't be sleeping.
Well, for Emily and Spencer, they're still just receiving their A messages via carrier pigeon.
An owl. They're just sending it by owl.
Like, wait, they have your phone number?
Oh my God.
I just thought they had my locker combo.
I don't have a phone. My mom took mine. Anyway, my mom was like, I was watching the Beyonce video too much. My mom actually took my phone
Allie
away.
actually told my mom that I was watching the Beyonce a little too much.
Ever since that happened, I haven't been, as long as Beyonce's releasing new music, I don't have a phone. my phone's schedule syncs up with her release schedule. But yeah, anyway, they all get a text from A, and that text says,
I'm still here, bitches. And I know everything.
And they all read it in unison. So then it just pans out. We see the chaos, everybody leaving the funeral. We see the girls looking around scared.
Right. Wilden is still on the tree just watching them.
Yep. And then they bring us right back into the church. We just take one last look at Allie's photo, smiling so innocently like a 13-year-old girl does.
Absolutely. It's important to note this is not an A scene. This is just a last view.
And when do we start getting the A scene?
Next episode. Well, no. To Kill a Mockingbird, I think, is the episode we get 3. It. Yeah.
Those are awesome. I always used to be so excited to wait for the A
And they
scenes.
Would scare the hell out of me as a kid.
Because you never fucking knew.
I know, in the hands with
bad.
gloves.
It's bad. Okay, so that's the end of the episode. So they definitely, they went out with a bang. They left us wanting more. And we are certainly going to get more, maybe more than we asked for.
All right, so before we close out this week's episode, we are going to read the synopsis. Did I say that word right?
Synopsis? Did you say synopsis?
I don't know.
Synopsis.
It didn't sound right when I said it. Synopsis. I'm going to read the synopsis.
Say synopsis again.
So next week, we'll be recapping the Jenna thing. The circumstances surrounding Allison's disappearance continue to haunt Arya, Emily, Spencer, and Hannah as questions arise about the night she went missing. The return of Jenna Kavanaugh to Rosewood makes the girls face an unpleasant past.
Love it. I did not realize that Hannah's name was spelled Hanna, which is so like sassy of her.
It's perfect. I wonder if she had the H.
I was just going to say that she dropped it. She said, I'm dropping the H for hefty. That second H is for hefty. I'm dropping it. And I also have to say, we get like our little, photo teasing us for the following episode. And what do we see on Arya Montgomery's body?
A vest.
A vest!
And let me actually tell you something.
Is there no
Spencer looks great. I like this outfit for Spencer.
She looks great. She looks like a paralegal.
But
like she
looks like
interning.
A Georgetown law student.
Yeah, she's in college.
And I guarantee you next week, you can quote me on this, I guarantee you she's wearing Oxford loafers with no socks.
Okay, but we do see that the cuff on her blazer does not match the blue of her button down. I don't know how her mom or Melissa. I was just gonna say, if Melissa had seen her that morning, she would have slapped her. She would have backhanded her across the face and said, "Change, bitch." So yeah, that's about it. Thank you guys so much for listening to our very first Pretty Little podcast. We are going to try to get on some kind of a release schedule. So if you're sticking with us, and we do have our Instagram up, it is pretty_little_pod. Hopefully that has whet your appetite for what's to come.
All right. So I'm Phoebe.
I'm Caroline.
And this was the Pretty Little podcast.